Live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
I'm Scotty.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. I am Ben. I'm here with TJ.
No.
I am CJ.
I am here with Scott J.
Ski
A
J.
strange hybrid being that is both Scotty and TJ in one.
We are one.
We will destroy all.
That was pretty good for not being rehearsed at all.
10,000 subscribers.
10,000 fucking subscribers in 3 months.
The Drunken Peasants, greatest podcast of all time. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Awesome.
Shower us with your praise, chat room.
And some people in the chat room are saying that this is the show that's going to have Brett Keane and G-Man and Nephilim Free and stuff on it. That is incorrect. That is Saturday's show.
You're wrong, sir.
That
This
is
coming Saturday
Saturday's show.
At 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have Brett Keane, G-Man, and Nephilim Free.
And I think a couple other Christian people.
Maybe.
And we will have us and Paul's Ego and possibly, but unlikely, Dusty.
Yeah, we wanted to have Dusty on because Brett Keane's been making a lot of videos about Dusty lately.
But
Yeah.
Dusty's get laid every day philosophy is overridden his desire to
Dusty
debate
has
Christians.
decided hoes before bros.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you get a chance, check out Dusty's latest video where he owns a street preacher in Denver. It's a really good video.
Maybe we could even play that during the course of this
Would
video.
that be okay?
I'm sure Dusty would not care.
Okay.
No, he's going to DMCA us.
Dusty'd be like,
Yeah, you know what?
fuck y'all.
I say
Fuck you.
we'll do that after the shit we're going to do first here.
Yeah. I'm saying if there's time, we could maybe jump in that and offer some commentary on that.
Yeah, because it's pretty awesome, honestly. Now,
so we figured since you guys are not getting your fix of G-Man tonight,
G-Man.
we would like to present you with a little bit of G-Man related content. Nevertheless, if you go to G-Man's official channel for his ministry, his ministry, Preaching to the Choir Ministries. Yes.
yeah, what the fuck does that even mean? Is he just like admitting that he only preaches to
like,
people that agree with him? Because that's
Yes.
what that means.
No, I don't think he knows what it means. Anyway, the main video on his channel is a rap against atheists. Now, I am white and I am lame in every way possible, but I can rap better off the top of my head than G-Man can in this rap, and it's the most inept rap you've ever heard.
It's actually the greatest rap song of
It
all
is
time.
fucking terrible.
No, I love
When
it.
Ben sent me the link to this video, he said, G-Man has a rap video on his page. He makes the Insane Clown Posse sound like Mozart.
Yes. I mean, literally, the difference between G-Man and the worst of the worst of any rap group you can imagine is unbelievable.
I actually think G-Man is an unparalleled rap talent. He's like a diamond in the rough waiting to be discovered.
Diamond.
He has no sense of lyrical rhythm whatsoever.
He's actually perfectly in rhythm. I'm sorry. I can't agree. You guys are going to listen to this and be blown away.
I am a long-haired 30-year-old white man.
I actually was convinced by all of G-Man's arguments after listening to his rap.
Oh,
So.
fuck you, Scotty. So you're joining the other side now, is that
Yes,
it?
I have to become a Christian.
There you go, Brett.
We got to play the rap.
Okay.
All right, everyone's play it.
We're going to play it right now. Here it is, the world premiere.
It's amazing. G-Man.
G-Man and the Masters of Stupidity.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
The worst hi-hat.
Atheism is about to go down.
Listen to this fucking hi-hat. It's so bad.
Yeah, atheism.
Atheist owned.
Atheism is about to be destroyed.
Featuring Jesus Christ!
Hello, everybody. I'm not feeling kind of sour. I'm still owning these atheists. I'm preaching to the choir by making their arguments look foolish with God's word, while all these so-called free thinkers feed you a bunch of turds. The scientific theories made up in Darwin's head are all these atheists dream while they're lying in their bed. All the atheists are sitting.
Okay, hold on.
G-Man has destroyed atheism. as they dreaming in their bed.
I think this proves there is no God because he would not have allowed this to happen.
Wait, G-Man, I cannot tolerate this terrible rap song in my honor.
G-Man, stop believing in me.
Yes.
Become an atheist, G-Man, please.
All right, here we go.
With a face of stone, we Christians have two words to say, and that's atheist owned.
He couldn't even find a sample of like someone scratching a record. He's like, ow, 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 ow. This, and you know what? The saddest fucking part is that's the best part. Seriously.
Ow. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So Christians are crazy for believing in God, while Dawkins and Hawkins are doing Satan's job. Redline and Live Life work for Beelzebub, while Robin Dupree just wants...
It's Beelzebub, by the way. And
Beelzebub. No, you're wrong. It's Beelzebub now.
Stephen Hawking's a guy who has almost no motor functionality, has accomplished more in like a day in his life than G-Man ever could.
In 1,000 lifetimes. I don't know. He accomplished this song, you know? I think you forgot that part. You know, that's what really brought it together.
Yeah.
I think atheism has been destroyed by G-Man.
Atheists are bad. They are dumb as fuck. I hope they get hit by a truck.
See, that right there is
better.
Is lyrical rhythm.
That's literally the worst I can do it. I cannot even be as bad as him if I try.
to have his son. Strong atheists say there's no such thing as God. Red line's a goofball, just putting up a big facade. Red line, don't cry, just get used to it, kid. You're gonna keep getting owned by this evangelist. All atheists
It doesn't even rhyme. It doesn't even rhyme. It doesn't even come close to rhyming. Kid and evangelist. Not even close.
Kid evangelist. No. That rhymes perfectly.
I mean, I know that not
about.
every rhyme has to be like a perfect, exact phonetic thing.
Yeah. There's soft rhymes too.
Yeah, like near rhyme, soft rhyme, but that's not even a soft rhyme.
Not even close.
You might as well be rhyming like baseball bat with fucking marmalade stack.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't.
That's even better.
That's actually closer. I don't.
You can't even be this bad if you
I know.
try.
I'm literally trying to be as bad as him so that I can make fun of him, but I keep ending up being better. It's fucking sick.
You can never defeat G-Man, TJ.
He has a talent. He has a talent for being ludicrously bad.
Someone in the chat room said that John Cena's a better rapper, and I have to fucking agree.
Yeah, John Cena actually is a better rapper.
And you know how much I fucking despise John Cena. But yes, John Cena is a better rapper.
Stephen Hawking is actually a better rapper.
With his computer voice.
Yes.
Jeez.
Watch him feeling all alone. We Christians have two words to say, and that's atheist owned.
Put your hands in the air.
Atheists say we have the burden of proof. I just say that's a bunch of number two.
A bunch of number two.
Proof and
we
two.
have the burden of proof. I just say that's a bunch of number two.
Why don't atheists say we have the burden of proof? Motherfucker, you know that ain't the truth.
Yeah.
How about that, you stupid fuck? That was off the top of my goddamn head, you fucking idiot.
TJ, you're a racist. You're the amazing racist.
Yo, racist TJ and a middle-aged man.
G-Man is so fucking stupid that I can't even believe he's a real person. Like, this has got to be
He's
fucking,
a troll.
This is not even trolling. Like at this point, it's like performance art. I
No.
applaud you, G-Man, for your amazing
No.
TJ,
performance.
someone says G-Man and TJ should do a sex tape.
I say that G-Man is a troll, and I challenge him to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong that you're not a troll.
Prove us wrong, G-Man.
Prove me wrong that you're not a troll. Prove this negative for me, please.
Prove it. Let's hear the rest of his brilliant song.
So Bionic Dance, stop running from a fight. Matthew 4:19, he actually has it right. Until someone can prove that God is not real, atheists like Redline tell me how torment feels.
What?
Atheists take
What?
this advice for the rest of your days. Read your Bible and do what it says. Atheists own.
Oh, yeah. Atheist own, motherfucker.
The worst rap ever.
Atheist own, motherfucker. What the fuck, G-Man? Why would you not only make, like, I can understand making that and then listening to it and being like, oh, this sucks, I'm not putting this up. This is what he puts up. Like when you land on his channel, this is his video that automatically plays. Like, yeah, best foot forward. This is the best I have to offer.
I could even understand him like recording it and be like, yeah, man, this is awesome. But after listening to it back after you've recorded it,
The audio doesn't even like sound good. It's like there's so much like breaking. It's like,
yeah, he's
And
using a shitty mic for one
His
thing.
voice is clipping severely
Yes.
during the whole song. Song.
Using that term very
yeah,
loosely.
that's extremely like.
We have to
misinterpretation of
get
the
a
song.
sample for our show of him going ow 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 ow.
Oh my god.
That is the best part of the song.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the most tolerable part of the song.
It's like the only part of the song where you're not sitting there like totally cringing.
Thank you, G-Man.
That needs to be. He should actually be rapping to that sad trumpet.
Don't become like G-Man, TJ.
G-Man.
G-Man.
Trying to worry about you, TJ. I don't know if it's a trumpet or trombone or what. You might be coming G-Man Part 2.
Staying on topic here, Brett. We were pretty drunk when we first said, "Hey, Brett Keane, we want you on the show." And then and then apparently, fans of ours, they went to Brett Keane's channel and they told him, "Hey, Drunken Peasants want you on the show." So we didn't even know about this. He made this video making all these demands, basically saying, you need to do these things or else we won't even be on the show. And the funny thing is that we didn't meet any of these demands.
And he still came on.
Yeah.
There's a number of demands you better meet, guys.
Not only did he,
You better meet my demands right now, atheist.
not only did he make these demands, it wasn't like we even came to him and said, we ain't doing your demands, bitch. I mean, like, we didn't even know they existed. He actually called us during that show.
The amazing atheist need to suck my cock before I even consider going on the show.
There wasn't even really an IM message. It was basically like, we're calling you now with all these fucking people that you don't know. Kind of ambush style type thing, which we were fine with. We did it. We talked to them for like an hour and 45 minutes.
A mouse can't ambush a lion.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here.
So here's Brett Keane's video, because we find it pretty entertaining, all the demands he makes, and makes it pretty much sound like, well, I'll only come on if you do this.
Yes.
And this.
Now we're going to watch that and laugh. We're not going to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like really fucking like 11 minutes long.
We are going to watch his intro, though, because it's pretty fucking hilarious.
It's the final Jesus.
Oh shit, it's Jesus, everyone! There he is! Jesus looks like he's jerking off in that. It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to come. Oh, I just came.
Brett Keane, Hollywood.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, first off, does Brett Keane live in Hollywood?
He lives in Missouri.
Yeah.
He lives in
Missouri.
fucking Missouri. So how the fuck is it Brett Keane, Hollywood?
Brett Keane, Hollywood
production value
baseball. Jack Girardi at 10 feet tall.
And it's not even debatable. It's not even debatable that Brett Keane's quality sucks. Like, his quality is shit.
His quality is the same as it was back in like 2006.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even like a point you could debate. It's like, your quality sucks. It's horrible. He uses like a shitty webcam from like 1998. Turn off the phone, TJ.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from the YouTube channel Brett Keane Hollywood. When I woke up this morning, I discovered I had many comments from atheist YouTubers claiming that the Amazing Atheist and his friend Ben would like me to come upon a live broadcast of the Amazing Atheist. I am more than happy to come on to a live broadcast of the Amazing Atheist, but there are some things that I would like to see happen before I even consider
Brett Keane is a fucking diva.
Yeah.
First of all,
The room has to be all white.
The room has to be all white.
And I
I
need
want
chilled water.
only red M&Ms.
The water better be chilled to 35.3 degrees Fahrenheit.
I guess
if it's not, I'm not going to show up.
I guess that's where the Hollywood thing comes from.
I think you nailed it, Ben.
Yeah.
That's where it came from.
questions that I would like to ask, and I would like the questions to be answered on the Amazing Atheist.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
I would also like to ambush you with some audio bites.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
In order for Brett Keane to appear on my show, which he did, so we obviously know that all this list is just bullshit.
Yeah, it's total bullshit.
But in order for him to appear on my show, I have to answer his questions on the Amazing Atheist channel. When the Amazing Atheist channel has 540,000 subscribers, and his channel has like
Five.
what? I don't know,
Five.
seven people, 7 dudes sitting around like Jesus, yeah, Brett Keane.
And for those of you who don't know, Brett Keane was one of the early atheist YouTubers.
Brett Keane actually has the distinction of being the person that inspired me to do the Amazing Atheist channel.
Yeah, and TJ freely admits that. So
No, yes, I don't deny it or back away from it, because back in the day he was on there making atheist videos, and he was actually when we were both doing atheist channels, he was pretty much in a dead heat with me in terms of subscribers for a long time.
yeah, and didn't he blame you for the downfall of his channel? Ultimately?
Yeah, he actually back in the it's so hard to find
TJ
these old
orchestrated
videos.
my downfall.
But I mean, he had like this several-part series about how I basically engineered his entire downfall on YouTube. I mean, now he's changed his tune.
It wasn't his
admits some culpability.
Yeah, it wasn't his gross plagiarism.
Well, I watched his coming out Christian video where he described and
No, Ben, he's not a Christian.
oh yeah,
He's
bro.
a theist.
A follower of Jesus who believes in the divinity of Jesus, who is not a Christian.
But remember, G-Man already explained to us that that's not what a Christian is. That's not what a Christian is. That's not what a Christian is. Let me out of your mind.
oh, that
G-Man.
makes sense. I'm glad you reminded me of that.
You know? Just because you believe in the divinity of Christ and view him as your Lord and Savior and obey his edicts does not make you no Christian.
So basically, Brett Keane was in some financial trouble at one point, and he was at the end of his rope. And according to him, he was sitting on a park bench in the woods.
In the
woods.
woods?
In the woods. That's kind of
Why is there a park bench in the middle of the woods?
ghetto?
I don't know, but he decided to pray after he was the guy on YouTube for so long that said, prayer doesn't work, all this shit.
Jesus, send me like a check.
Jesus, send me some money. I need some money.
Jesus, send me a
end of my
check for
rope.
$5,000 and
I
solve all
sat
my
there
problems.
on the park bench and I decided it was time for me to pray.
You know what it was? He was watching those evangelists on TV like, we just need to build the new church. He's like, wait a minute. I could just make a living by saying I'm a Christian and just like telling people I need money for like Christian activities like missionary work.
Well,
and shit.
I wonder how long it'll be before Brett Keane is laying his hands on the sick and infirm and healing them.
Here's the funny thing about the story, though. Okay, so he's praying, he's saying, God, give me a sign, help me, and I'll believe in you, and I'll convert, and whatever. So, and then later on, he mentions that either before he prayed or shortly after, he had uploaded a video asking people for help because he really needed help financially. And that's okay. I won't even fault him for that because people get there, whatever, I'm not even going to.
Yeah, we don't fault him for his financial problems. That's just silly.
So his reason for converting to Christianity was all of a sudden he started getting all these donations, and 90% plus of the people who donated the money to him were Christian. And he believes that was the sign that God gave him. But it's like he fucking uploaded a video asking people to do this. So how the fuck is that a sign from God? You asked for it. You think if you wouldn't have asked for it, that all of a sudden these donations just would have came in somehow?
God helps those who help themselves, Ben.
I see.
Benjamin.
So that is Brett Keen's reason for converting to Christianity. He got donations from Christians to his PayPal account.
I wouldn't, that's pretty funny that he would admit that. Like, I saw the Christians would pay me more, and I just decided I'm a Christian.
Yeah, and the video is still up. If you look up, if you do a search for like Brett Keen Christianity or something like that, you'll find it. It's still out there. So, yeah. We'll listen to a little more here of his. It's almost like a hostage negotiation checklist that he gives us here.
Let's hear it.
He would have to actually make a video or find the time to make a video before the broadcast answering some of my questions. There are also some God believer individuals out there that I would like to be able to participate in the discussion as well. The individuals are selected by me. These individuals would be G-Man, who is a Christian,
and a genius,
Raspberry, who is
a musical genius. He's,
a lyrical master.
G-Man, if I can't even say it with a straight face.
We have to transcribe his song so we can do a metal cover of it.
If Jay-Z happens to be listening to the show, I think he'll be giving you a call tonight, G-Man.
Yeah, I hope that we just gave you your big break, buddy.
Yeah.
Is a Christian and true empiricism. Every single one of these individuals I have mentioned are respectful, decent, and have a reputation for doing live hangouts and discussions, and are more than happy to talk about science, religion, and philosophy.
And this is total bullshit.
So if the Amazing Atheist wants me to come onto his show, I know that he's going to have his friends and his fan base there, and all that I ask is that I have these individuals to be able to participate in the discussion, and I would also...
Isn't that revealing, though, the fan base statement, Brett? Because you don't have much of a fan base, and I think that's part of the reason why all these demands are coming out,
I think it was just basically he didn't want to do it. And he was trying to come up with like a ridiculous list of demands that he knew I would never meet. But then probably G-Man and his friends were like, yeah, we gotta go own that piece of shit.
I don't know. I don't agree with you there.
Why would Brett Keen not want to be on the show?
Yeah.
He literally has no exposure beyond that. Like, he doesn't even understand like how YouTube works now. Like, he only understood it when it was like, upload a video and people will find it because I'm like the only atheist on there pretty much.
Yeah, now he has like a 9-minute intro with copyrighted music and Jesus and whatever else.
Actually, I believe that's actually a cover.
Yeah.
He put in the show notes that his son's band plays that, which is kind of, the music is actually pretty well produced, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But still.
Yeah.
It sounds almost.
Like the Final Countdown.
Yeah, I can't distinguish it from at least the music. It doesn't sound like they've done anything to alter it, really.
Yeah.
Also like a video announcing that they too will be on the show with links in the description that represent their channel so people can actually go over and see who it is that would be on the show and get to know the participants.
Why do you want us to do that? Honestly, because all that's gonna do if we link the participants to our audience, it's gonna cause their videos to get a lot of downvotes and possible trolling in their comments. Honestly, it's not gonna help. Our audience does not like them.
Can you even troll G-Man though? Is it even possible?
I think G-Man is a troll, and I challenge him to prove me wrong. Prove to me that you're not a troll.
I don't think you could even troll G-Man in a way. He's just like so stupid. It's almost impossible. It just bounces right off him or just goes over his head.
Yeah, because even if you make valid points to him, he doesn't grasp them on even the most rudimentary level.
You're a racist, TJ.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I would like to also ask some questions before I go on the podcast that will be in this video. I'm going to ask some questions, and I would like to see...
I wish he'd fucking get to it instead of making like an 11-minute video.
And what does he do?
That's just like the fucking video where he announced that he was now a Christian. It was like a 15-minute video where he told this really long, drawn-out story, and then at the end, he finally admitted he is now a Christian. So,
Theist, Ben.
oh, a theist.
He's a theist.
Sure, a theist.
He was always a theist. He just always forgot to put that space between the A and the theist.
I would pretty much say he's more of a deist than a theist anyway.
Deist. I don't know, because he believes in Jesus. And he believes
So he
in-
says.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if he wants to call himself a theist, who really cares? In my opinion, he's still a moron. Doesn't
Mature
change
enough
that.
and adult enough to actually attempt to answer these scientific, religious questions that I give.
Because they're not.
If I feel that you actually cared enough and that you've actually made a video trying to answer these questions, then I know
Ask
that
him.
whenever I go on the podcast,
Ask
we
the
can
fucking
have an
questions, you
He does ask
fucking
them.
idiot.
Yeah, Brett, are you a
Do you wanna-
scientist?
do you wanna-
I highly doubt it.
Do you want to go through the questions and answer them now?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like, I want to see what they are.
And it's funny, like,
These are his scientific questions.
it's funny because he's so much against ad homs, but if you watch his old videos, he attacked people all the fucking
Dude,
time.
just in his video recently to Dusty, he's like, well, Dusty obviously only has a third grade education and he's fucking stupid, but, you know, I mean, it's not like he's turned over a new leaf and he totally abstains from personal attacks now or something.
like
Dusty's a
conversation.
moron.
Basically, what I'm saying is that the video that you make will be a test, as well as monument, of showing that you're serious about actually having a good adult-like discussion. If the video does not answer the questions,
can
or
discuss
you
that
don't
however the
even
fuck we
try,
want, Brent. Are you my
just blow
daddy?
them off, then I know that you're really just using people in order to make more money and act goofy on a podcast at someone else's expense.
We're wacky.
And that's not what I want. If I'm going to go on someone's live show, I want it to be about an actual discussion and not a place where we get personal with each other and fling doo-doo in each other's face. Like Honeyball.
It's because you're a dull-witted moron, Brett. That's why you want all these preconditions, so we don't fucking reveal you for the retard you are.
So, without further ado, here's my question.
Okay, questions, finally.
My first question is, do you believe in absolutes?
What?
Do you believe in absolutes?
Wow.
Okay, yeah, in some I mean, it depends. I mean, yeah, in some instances, I guess. It's kind of a vague question, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutes, like...
I believe in absolute vodka.
Yeah? Comes in many delicious flavors.
I know.
He's just trying to funnel us down with some Christian logic.
Oh, it's-
he wants to be like,
Yeah, this
yes
is
or no?
this is obviously the first question in some like bit of sophistry that he's concocted.
Yeah, it reminds me of Eric Hoven's routine that he goes through.
Have
when
you ever
he's
stolen anything? Then you're
Yeah.
a thief.
Yeah, or Ray Comfort type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
My
a
second question
fucktard.
is, without a God of the universe, what would be the alternative on why it is that the universe exists in the first place?
What would be the alternative? Why do you even need an alternative? I don't see the need for an alternative. I mean, we don't need to always have a working hypothesis.
Do you have an explanation besides God? Yes, it's called the Big Bang.
Well, where
No.
did that come from? It's like,
Who
well,
created the
we
Big
don't know
Bang?
yet. We haven't yet discovered that knowledge.
weren't
We may
there.
never discover it.
You weren't there.
They weren't there to see God do it either. So I don't understand the you weren't there argument.
But he left behind.
We have this book.
He left behind his book of ancient fairy tales to tell them though.
Oh, the book.
My next question would be, what explains the fine-tuning of the universe? My next question would be,
Well, multiverse
why-
theory has an answer to that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
what does he mean by fine tuning anyway? The universe is chaotic at best. In
well, I
many
mean,
ways.
basically, they say it's basically like, oh, if the cosmological constants were different, then reality would be different. We might not have. There'd be plenty of universes where if the laws of physics were a little bit different, we wouldn't have stars and planets and all that stuff.
But we do.
Right. So I mean, it's basically like someone. It's basically like, I think who was it? It was the guy that wrote the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
He was talking about a sentient puddle that was like, wow, obviously because I'm in this exact shape. This is it's like this puddle fits perfectly in this hole. Don't you see? It's like magic.
This square peg fits in the square hole.
The
Do
only
you
explanation
think that
is
the universe
creative.
is rational, if rational at all? I would suggest looking
Rational
in the dictionary under the
people.
word rational.
People can be rational. There's nothing that like that's a character trait that can only belong to sentient beings. The universe doesn't have to be rational. The universe can't be rational. That's like that's a character trait, or a way of approaching situations and problems. The universe doesn't have a sense of rationality. It's just governed by the laws of physics.
For some reason, many atheists out there ask me the question of, what do you mean the universe
Which, by the way, are
rational?
descriptive laws,
So
not
obviously they
prescriptive
do
laws.
not comprehend that word or understand its meaning of what rational and logical actually means, ironically. How did DNA and amino acids arise, and where did the genetic code come from?
Why does the genetic code have to come from somewhere?
Well, I mean, it came from a very gradual process that took place over billions of years.
Well, yeah, but he's insinuating that, someone sat down and wrote the genetic code.
He's saying that obviously the point of creation was God.
I remember, it just reminds me of the episode of Family Guy where they present the creationist view, and it's basically the genie from I Dream of Jeannie, and she just kind of nods her head, and like organisms just appear on the surface of the earth.
Yeah, but he's talking about the genetic code like it's like the Da Vinci Code, and somehow we just kind of like cracked the code.
God is sitting there over like his computer, like, God damn it, not now, honey. I'm working on the genetic code. Ain't you seen Gattaca?
Basically, I'm asking you the origin of DNA, the origin of life itself.
The funny thing is, I don't understand how he can honestly ask this question when he's made videos in the past where he talks about abiogenesis. I mean, he knows this stuff, so he's clearly feigning ignorance.
Yeah, I wanted to find videos of atheist Brett Keane to have him debate himself, and just find like theist Brett Keane.
It must be so
making a point.
surreal for him to now be asking questions that he himself has answered pretty well in the past.
Yeah, many times before.
So it's like, okay, well, how can you possibly posit this question when you already know what the real answer is?
The one video that I found that was amusing was his blasphemy challenge video from back in the day, because he did the blasphemy challenge thing.
So he's going to hell no matter what. So I don't know why he's bothering with this Christian shit.
I don't expect you to know
He's
everything.
already,
but
He
I'd
repented,
like you to make
TJ.
an attempt at your alternative or understanding of it. We all know that atheists love to claim that the universe doesn't have the capacity to contain a god or an entity like it in the universe. So, being that,
What was
I
that?
would like to hear.
What?
What'd he say?
He said that the universe doesn't have the capacity to contain
God?
God. Yes.
Okay. I don't see the point there. I don't get it. What is that even supposed to mean to
Which
me?
is weird because Jesus was in the universe and you believe Jesus was God, right?
I've heard a lot of Christians say that God is everywhere and everything, but now he's saying no, that's not true. I don't know. Whatever.
Your alternative or solution being that you are allegedly the amazing atheist.
Allegedly.
So I expect nothing less than amazing.
How are you
extraordinary
allegedly
answers
the
for
amazing
these things.
atheist? Oh, he's saying you're allegedly amazing. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, that's not new. No one's ever used that one before.
Allegedly
That's
amazing.
so original, Brett.
Brett Keane.
But he wants to be mature and have this adult discussion, as he has said.
Being that you believe there is no God behind it.
You believe there is no God.
See, but he needs to look up the word atheist in a dictionary.
He does not believe that there is a God. It's not that he believes there is no God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Brett always challenges people on words. Do you know what the meaning of the word logical or rational is? It's like, do you know what the meaning of the word atheist is?
So then what is the answer and solution to the equation?
What are you talking about?
My next question
Equation.
What equation?
What is that?
I didn't see you
what
present a
does-
fucking
what
equation at any point.
Does Brett Keaton do, like, when he's adding up his McDonald's total? Oh, let's see. The chicken nuggets cost $1. They're not on sale anymore. $1.99. I mean, give me a fucking break.
How does irreducibly complex enzyme chains evolve? And how do you
Did he
account-
just you actually do the irreducible complexity thing?
Yes.
It appears so.
Like, I know for a fact that he's argued with that before. I mean, I remember seeing videos where he basically mocked Christians for even using the words irreducible complexity. And he was right to do so. Oh well.
for the origin of 116 distinct languages
Forget all that, TJ. God gave him money.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. God bribed him. Now he's got to fight God's battles.
and families? My next question is, why did cities suddenly appear all over the world between 3000 and 1000 BC?
Why did cities suddenly appear every time God was near?
They didn't suddenly appear. People built them.
Yeah, it was actually this process where people lived in tribes and then villages and then cities.
Why did the internet suddenly appear?
Al Gore.
Yeah.
Al Gore is God.
Al Gore was like, snap his fingers. Time for the internet.
Can you explain the expansion of the population during these time periods?
It's called agriculture,
My
moron.
next questions would be, how is independent thought possible in a world?
Well, Brett, you're
ruled
proving
by
that one
chance
already
and
to be
necessity?
incorrect.
How do we account for self-awareness? How is free
How do we
will
account for
possible in a
self-awareness?
material universe?
Is this a list of like Brett's dumbest possible questions? How do we account for self-awareness?
I just Have you ever read a book on neuroscience? I mean, like, if you really want, I mean, if you're genuinely curious about, I mean, I know you have no actual genuine curiosity about the subject of how consciousness arose, so you won't actually read anything about it. For you, it's just a question to be like, you can't explain it. God did it. Actually, it can be explained. Just read a book on neuroscience. I mean, we don't know exactly how consciousness emerged in, all those details because we're still investigating, but we know a lot more about the brain than we used to. And we do know that it is the seat of consciousness. And we do know that it is an evolved organ. It's part of evolution. Like, that's why if you look down our ancestral chain, you can see creatures with brains that are similar. You can see how, like a fucking, if you look at like any of the other great apes on the planet, they have physiologically similar brains that are not quite to the level that ours are at yet. Which is, not to say that all evolution is necessarily progress. I mean, features can regress too.
Yeah.
Like creatures that are trapped in darkness might lose their eyes over, a few million years. But, you can clearly see that there is this physiological similarity down the ancestral chain. And if we look at our closest relatives on this planet, we can see remarkable similarities between ourselves and them. I didn't know that Brett Keane... I knew Brett Keane was a Christian now. I didn't know he was anti-evolution, too.
Yeah, I think he may even be a young earther from what I've gathered.
I think he's a flat earther as well.
Well, actually, I believe Nephilim Free is a geocentrist.
Whoa.
Yes. At least he's stated that before in videos that he's made.
So he believes the Earth is the center of the universe, or
Yeah.
am I misremembering? No, that would be geocentrist.
Yes.
Heliocentrist is when they think the sun is the center of the
Yeah.
universe.
Someone wrote in the chat, I think Brett Keane is suffering from Alzheimer's.
How do we account for consciousness? Where did consciousness come from?
Didn't you just asked that same question earlier, but you used the word awareness, but it's the same question.
There's been some new findings in the universe within this past week that has blown the atheist Lawrence Krauss's theory of we came from nothingness completely out of the water.
What?
Wait a minute. The theories that they proved were they proved that the Big Bang happened because they found the waves.
Yeah, from the oldest light in the
So
universe.
how does that? What part of that discredits Lawrence Krauss's ideas? Is that going to be
Would
explained,
you
or
explain it?
could you explain it?
Self-awareness and consciousness.
It's just I don't get it.
On what basis can we make moral judgments? By what authority?
They used that one on
How
us on
can
the
you
debate.
explain to me that it can be any more than just a moral opinion on things, what is wrong, what is right, what is good is evil. I would like you to explain why
I really loved the way
suffering-
that Paul's ego handled that particular question in the debate too.
Yeah.
Oh, what did he say? I didn't see the whole debate, just some parts of it.
Well, Paul was basically like, they were like, by what authority? He's like, the authority of the United States government.
Yeah.
That's why they have laws they pass and stuff. And, you know, if I murder someone, I'll go to jail. And also just empathy and the fact that I wouldn't want anyone killing me, so why would I kill them? Or
I still
hurt
say it's
them?
disappointing that we can't see Dusty and Brett Keane debate. We have to set that up sometime.
Well, Dusty might show up. Maybe we'll get lucky and the women will cancel on him.
Oh, man, that's a dick thing to say.
Yeah, cock blocker.
even matters in the first place.
We got to figure
Why
out who
do
they
human beings
figure out who
matter?
Dusty's
Why
going to date
does-
and
why
write
does
them
sentient
and be
life
like,
matter if there is no
Dusty fucking sucks. He beats women. You don't want him. He's trash. He's garbage.
Dusty beats women, yeah, TJ. I think Dusty's going to make an anti-amazing atheist video soon. The amazing cock blocker.
Don't date Dusty. We need him.
Is that a
We need-
website?
we need him for the
Don'tDateDusty.net.
That's awesome.
God, if there is no force or being? I need to hear your opinion on why
You say
it is
force
that you
or
think
being?
that anything
Being.
matters
It's a being.
in the first place. If there is no
All right, that's enough of this shit. Let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, who the fuck would watch this boring, grumpy old piece of shit?
Well, this was his list of demands, like like a hostage negotiation.
You have to
basically.
answer this list of ridiculous
And you need to bring
questions.
$10,000 in a brown paper bag to the bus station.
Yeah. He wanted TJ to answer these questions on the Amazing Atheist channel. So
He just answered many of these questions already on the channel before us, but he needs to specifically address it to Brett Keane.
Right.
And give Brett a shout out. Hey
Basically.
guys, do you want to go fucking be so bored you want to blow your brains out? Go watch this Brett Keane bullshit. And in a month from now, he's gonna be not a Christian. Now he's gonna be an atheist again in a month, and he'll bounce back and forth.
I think he's going to do Muslim next.
So the next story we're going to cover here is that there's been a wave of suicides based on the work culture of a particular phone company in Europe.
You know, another thing I wonder, before we get off the
Okay.
Brett Keane thing.
Okay.
Something I was wondering the other day, what does his wife think as he flip-flops between atheism and Christianity?
I
Like,
don't know.
I'm an atheist.
does she just
God
go
is
along with it? Like,
bullshit.
he's like, honey, God is bullshit and atheism is right. She's like, yeah, that's right, Brett. You right.
Smart Brett.
You know. And then like, honey, I'm a Christian now. It's like, oh, good. Praise Jesus, Brett. I'm like, does she just go along with it, or what is going on there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Anyway,
That is a good question.
we'll have to ask him that on Saturday. Like, what does your wife do when you oscillate between life philosophies left and right?
I wonder if he does this with everything too. It's like 1 month he's like, I love peanut butter, and then the next month he's all like, fuck this peanut butter, and he like throws it against a wall and like beats his wife for like buying the peanut butter. Like what happens in Brett Keane's life if he goes this much back and forth between like a major life choice like religion? Like, how crazy does he get about other shit?
Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Let's play the next video.
All right. Yeah. Fucked up work culture causing suicides at a European phone company. I believe it's Orange, which is a pretty prominent phone company in Europe.
Cool.
Je crois que ma maman lui avait offert un livre.
My mom gave him a book entitled The Art of Therapy so that he could relax.
Nicolas Fouché's family says he never talked about suicide, but they say he was having trouble at work, and one day last January he threw himself in front of a train.
Je comprends qu'il, enfin, même si
I understand his gesture, even though I don't accept it, because he had reached his limits.
qu'il pouvait faire.
The 42-year-old Fouché worked here, not far from Paris's Champs-Élysées, at the offices of Orange, the privatized version of the French telephone company, which has about 100,000 employees. His death might not have attracted much notice if it had not been part of a pattern of suicides by Orange employees. Since the beginning of the year, Fouché is one of 10 workers at the company who have taken their own lives, a suicide rate which is far higher than the national average for France, which already has one of the highest suicide rates.
Yeah, I mean, when like people working at a particular company are disproportionately killing themselves, you might want to look into the practices of that company.
Maybe there's a problem there, just maybe.
I wonder if maybe there's a connection here.
You know what's strange though is like France, probably more so than almost any country in the world, has such a strong like workers' right thing.
Yeah, this has to do with unrealistic expectations and the constant threat of losing your job. Basically being told that you're not doing anything right. And, you know, there has to be a sense of comfort and security in a job. Obviously, if you're fucking around and not doing the job right at all and you clearly don't care, then of course you should be disciplined for that. But this goes far deeper than that.
In the world. What's more, this is not the first time there has been a rash of suicides at the company. In 2008 and 2009, after 35 suicides at Orange, the CEO resigned and remains under criminal investigation for what were described by investigators as his brutal management methods and harassment, something the CEO denies. Under government pressure,
Kind of hard to deny that when the evidence points in a different direction.
I think these whiners that kill themselves are just a bunch of fucking faggots.
I like how you even give a French guy a southern accent.
All idiots sound southern.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from southern France.
The surveillance committee
France has a
was created to
south
address
too,
the
you know.
problems, which the committee found relate mostly to the ongoing reorganization plans at Orange. While experts say there may be multiple reasons that a person might take his own life, the committee found that 8 of 10 of the most recent suicides directly related to work. Workers like Yves Manguet, who went through the privatization of the telephone company, says he very nearly committed suicide himself. He was so depressed.
Privatization. There you go, libertarians. The privatization of the company caused these people to kill themselves.
No, because
free market would have helped them.
Yeah.
if
That's exactly what didn't help them.
The problem is that they just didn't go far enough with the privatization. You know, if everything in France was privatized and they just turned themselves into a libertarian paradise, no one would ever kill themselves unless they could make a profit doing it.
And the crazy thing is that this is in Europe. In the U.S., it's even worse because not only do you depend on your employer for income, but you also depend on your employer for your health insurance and other things.
And your retirement.
Yes.
A lot of it too. Your
401k.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you don't have to have them pay, but like they match your contributions. Obviously, you have a lot more if you have an employer matching it.
I found myself mise au placard, thrown to one side, as we say in France. That is, I was pushed into changing my profession.
So he has the
They
voice of a
removed
woman.
all my tasks,
That's strange.
all my work, and you find yourself during a certain period of time.
Well,
without
he is
work,
French.
Without, without vision, and that generates depression and illness.
French pussies.
Other workers have complained about the constant threat of layoffs or reassignment to jobs far different in location or function than originally assigned. CNN has repeatedly...
Yeah, I know we hired you as a technician, but actually what we need you to do is every time the toilets get clogged, we need you to reach your hand in and pull the shit out. I know that's not what your job description said, but that's what we need.
Come on.
You do want to keep your job, right?
We know you're the janitor here, but we need you to do sales.
Yeah, I mean, even that.
What?
He offered Orange the chance to respond after the recent suicide, but the company has refused all comment, including by the company representative on the surveillance committee, which was set up to deal with the perceived management problems. However, Orange has been quoted in other media as saying that each of these acts stem from different contexts, but that Orange remains vigilant.
Yeah,
and the
right.
government is now also vigilant about the problems at the company, said the French Minister of Health. I know the company is aware of the situation. The unions, of course, are at the forefront, but also the management, because we cannot let such a situation continue. Anna Maria Servilla, Nicola's sister, also hopes the situation at Orange will not continue.
My brother is not here to speak anymore, but I am. I want to tell his story for the sake of the Orange employees and for all the employees in France.
Jim Bitterman, CNN, Paris.
They should just... The entire company should just commit mass suicide at once. Like, they should all just get together and be like, we're just all going to kill ourselves.
That sounds more like a Japanese company. That doesn't sound like something a French company would do. When they just surrender to their competition.
Yeah.
This company surrenders. We all surrender. Take us prisoner.
Now we're going to move on to the Fort Hood shooting. The second one.
Fort Hood shooting 2.
Yeah, the sequel.
Revenge of the Nerds. I don't know. I don't know where that came from.
It was funny. Someone in the chat was complaining, like, you guys only debate Brett Keane and G-Man like stupid Christians. You should debate like well-educated Christians, like
Okay.
Venom Fang X.
like
Go find us one and we will.
yeah, like it's not going to make much difference, but go ahead. Like, sure, we'll debate them.
One thing that I heard a lot that I kind of agreed with was that, you know, obviously, admittingly, we're all laymen when it comes to science.
Sure, yeah.
A lot of people are saying, why don't you get someone with a scientific background during these types of debates? And I would say, you know, if anyone out there that actually does have any type of scientific background wants to do that, they're welcome to do so. I mean,
Sure.
yeah. So here's the Fort Hood.
And you guys can always go pressure Thunderfoot to be on our show.
Yeah, I sent a message to Thunderfoot not too long ago, but I haven't heard back from him yet. So
Yeah, you guys go harass Thunderfoot. Try to get him to come on here. We'd like, Thunderfoot, be on Drunken Peasants, bro. Be fucking awesome. Thunderfoot! Come on, Thunderfoot!
Are all our fans frat boys now?
Yeah.
bro,
Come on, Thunderfoot! Come on, man!
Come on, bro! It's
Come
fucking
on.
awesome!
I'll give you 100 solo cups, man. Come on.
Solo cup. Fort Hood shooting, too.
yeah. So Fort Hood is a military base in Texas, and they had a shooting there where a bunch of people were killed last time, and the person who had actually done it was a psychologist.
This guy was not as good
Yeah.
at killing people.
Yeah, not as good.
Helicopters brought some of the victims to Scott and White Hospital in Temple, Texas. At the time, their prognosis was not good.
All of these patients are in our ICU or will be there very shortly. 3 are in critical condition, and the remaining are all seriously injured.
First responders streamed toward Fort Hood, where for the second time in less than 5 years, an Army soldier had gone on a shooting spree. The military has identified him as Specialist Ivan Lopez.
It is believed that he walked into one of the unit
What is it
buildings.
about Fort Hood, though? You know?
I don't know. We do have a little bit of insight on that in a video that we have that we'll play shortly after this one. But yeah,
Okay.
that is a good question, you know.
Because, like, we have lots of military bases, and this is the only one I've ever heard of even one shooting like this happening at. I mean, I'm sure that it's happened before, but...
The gun advocacy in the U.S. was saying the problem is that the civilian workers were not permitted to carry guns at the military base.
That must be the problem.
Yeah.
I bet you
Fire.
that's why.
Got into a vehicle, fired from a vehicle, got out of the vehicle, walked into another building, and opened fire again, and then was engaged by local law enforcement here at Fort Hood.
Zendaria Morris lived by Lopez. She saw his wife leave their apartment after hearing news of the shooting.
She was worried and she was crying, and she had a little girl with her.
And did you know at this time that it was her husband?
No, we had no clue. No one had a clue. She didn't even have a clue.
The shootings come as a chilling reminder of those that happened at Fort Hood in November 2009.
A chilling reminder.
Psychiatrist
How could you
Major Nadal-
fucking not make a connection there?
Yeah. Oh, there might be some connection
Yeah, it's
between
like
this other
some
mass
kind of-
shooting.
It's like you know what this reminds me of? What is it? Oh, this is gonna fucking piss me off. I can't remember.
But the real problem is that we should just let anyone who wants to bring a gun onto a military base bring one.
Yeah, because we know there's not enough guns there to begin with.
Yeah.
Al Hassan shot and killed 13
I think
people.
doesn't the fact that this has happened at this base twice just show that the gun control? I mean, well, the pro-gun argument that we all need guns because it'll keep us safe
is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a military base where pretty much all the soldiers have guns.
Not only that, okay, anyone who's a soldier has gone through training to deal with these types of situations where, like, someone may attack you with a firearm or other weapons and try to kill you.
Yeah, and
These aren't just novices just off the street like, whoa, shit, someone's shooting at me.
And, you know, these guys still manage to waste multiple people. I mean, this guy injured, how many, 18?
He injured tons of people. He killed 3, and 4 if you include himself. So he killed 3 people at the very minimum.
Yeah.
Injured 32 others.
It's really unreal. Really unreal. Because in 2009 I was here, and this thing happened again. And it's unbelievable.
But unlike Hassan, a military court will never get a chance to try Lopez.
And the shooter is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Andrew Spencer, CNN, Atlanta.
I like the way he said it. He said it very unlike anyone would say in a civilian way. He's like, the shooter is dead.
The next story, still on this subject, is about how this most recent shooter did undergo psychiatric treatment.
It didn't work.
We have an active shooter currently on Fort Hood. So we have multiple gunshot victims. We also have people that are escaping through windows.
Tragedy strikes again. The Army's largest U.S. base put on lockdown for hours as shots rang out Wednesday. The second deadliest shooting on the Fort Hood.
Some idiot in the chat, that video games guy's like, you're not allowed to carry firearms in a base. Okay, so there's no firearms around you on a military base?
In a military base.
You're really going to say that in a military base? Yeah, maybe you're not carrying your piece with you wherever you go, but there's none nearby. Like, what about the rifleman's crate? You're supposed to have your rifle with you wherever you go. Maybe not in a civil. Maybe not like. Obviously, when you're on your base, like you don't feel the need to carry your M16 slung over your shoulder, but I really don't think you're not gonna have a gun near you. That's just stupid. Give me a fucking break, dude.
I mean, this is the armed forces.
Yeah, the unarmed forces.
They don't have MPs there. They don't carry guns either. Give me a fucking
We're
break.
the unarmed forces.
What a fucking moron.
We're just
our
guys
dad.
that go. We're just an
Don't
army
pull-
of people
don't
that
pull
beat
that
the
card.
shit out of you.
Don't pull that card. You're fucking banned for being a retard. You are banned for being the biggest fucking retard. Video Game 73. You are a moron. Fuck off.
Military
You're banned.
base in Texas in nearly 5 years.
It's really unreal. Really unreal.
Yeah, they're showing this
Because
part again really quick.
In 2009, I was here, and this thing happened again.
That guy's gonna be the
Authorities
next to
scrambled the
crack.
Scene, shutting the front gates, backing up traffic, urging everyone to stay put.
Stay put.
The lone shooter identified as Specialist Ivan Lopez, an American soldier toting a .45 caliber Smith & Wesson semi-automatic handgun purchased recently.
He was undergoing behavioral health and psychiatric treatment for depression and anxiety and a variety of other psychological and psychiatric issues.
Dressed in combat fatigues, Lopez allegedly opened fire, killing 3 people and injuring more than a dozen before taking his own life after being confronted by a military police officer.
It was clearly heroic what she did at that moment in time, and she did her job, and she did exactly what we would expect of a United States Army military police.
Victims were airlifted to nearby hospitals.
Any shooting is troubling.
Yeah, right,
Obviously, this
Obama.
reopens the door of what happened at
He
Fort
probably
Hood.
planned the shooting. He probably the mastermind behind the whole damn thing, just like he done Benghazi. You know what I'm saying.
5 years ago.
Fort Hood, the site of so much pain in 2009 when Major Nidal Hassan opened fire on base, killing 13 people and injuring 32. President
You know what was
Obama's
funny too
touching-
is the first time this happened, all the right wing was like, "Fucking Muslims, fucking Muslim scum."
Yep.
And this time it was not, as far as I know, a Muslim.
No, there's no reports about this individual being a Muslim.
So I wonder if they're gonna be. I wonder if they're gonna be like fucking whatever. I wonder what he was probably. I don't know. Was he? If he was a Christian, are they gonna be like fucking Christians? Always shooting people.
Words on the events of that tragic day almost 5 years ago, sadly relevant again.
So we say goodbye to those who now belong to eternity. May God bless the memory of those that we have lost.
Yeah, right, Obama. You killed him.
Yeah, so the next video, also on the subject, is a little insight where someone actually comments saying that Fort Hood is essentially a black hole.
Hey, TJ.
Yeah.
I was reading more about this. Okay, this is what they say about the weapons rules. It says, and this is in the New York Times. Fort Hood's weapon rules for soldiers are not police officers rely in large part on honor system. The base's rule prohibits soldiers from storing weapons in their vehicles, require firearms to be kept in certain storage areas, and mandate all personnel who bring a privately owned firearm under the base in a vehicle state the reason for doing so. The carrying of a privately owned weapon on Army installations is prohibited unless authorized by the senior commander. Violators face judicial and administrative penalties.
So the senior commander approved this guy of having a gun?
Probably not, but basically they say it relies on an honor system. So basically, like, you can bring a weapon on, they're not going to really search you.
So it's not like this is some rigidly enforced rule.
No.
I'm sitting in the car with someone who's stationed here at Fort Hood. We're not going to say who she is, what she does, but What is it like on post right now?
It's a pretty chaotic state. This place, they call it the great place. At the end of the day, it's really not the great place. People just hear things that go on, but they really don't understand that this place is definitely a black hole. This place is a stressful place, and we don't have as much as attention as we should. People are just saying, oh yeah, this is just another massacre, and they're going to forget about it. And it's not going to be in everybody's mind. Until we have people step up and see, hey, there needs to be change here, we're going to continue to have incidents like this. And at the end of the day, that's a sad realization that, we're going to have to come to.
You were saying to me when we were talking before, you've only been here a number of months, and you don't want to be here anymore. You want to go back to basic training because it's that bad. What about Fort Hood is that bad?
It's between leadership, just the quality of life. Like, it's people in jail have a better life than a lot of these soldiers here. And if you don't have a family and you're a single soldier living in the barracks, it can be miserable. And, we have a lot of people in behavioral health, and nobody really understands how bad somebody's mental stability is, or, how hard it is to keep your sanity here being at Fort Hood.
So what exactly specifically is going on here?
Basically, she's saying that the quality of life at Fort Hood is horrible.
But in what way, though?
Well, she was saying it's even worse for people who don't have families.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's even worse than people in prison. I don't know if she's quite. I don't know if she's fully elaborated yet.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, what specifically is creating those conditions, if in fact that is the conditions there.
I think she's trying to maintain her anonymity to the point where she's...
well, I mean, that's a kind of subjective statement, have better lives, and better life is a subjective statement.
Yeah.
But that's pretty abysmal to even think that, though, that someone on a military base who can move around freely...
I'm inclined to kind of agree that maybe there's something systemically wrong there when you have two separate shooting incidents like this.
Well, there has to be something like that going on. Like, what about it's like, people always talk about gun control. What about the mental health, aspect of this? Guy was being treated for depression and all of that.
Well, the first shooter was someone who was part of the mental health treatment.
That is interesting to bring that point up. But didn't he have like a Muslim ideology or something? Not Muslim, but like a religious fundamentalist reason.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, I mean, there's obviously an element of mental instability there as well, because no one even gravitates towards that sort of, ultra fundamentalist approach unless there's something going on to begin with, right? And I mean, especially in this country, I mean, there's no great peer pressure going on for you to become radicalized. So I mean, this is someone who had to seek out that radicalization. I mean, well, the first shooter was.
You're almost shaking talking to me. Why?
It's just that frustrating being here. We have our big leaders, at Pentagon or whatever. They're, oh yeah, our soldiers ready to take pay cuts. We need to focus on our equipment and all this. No, they really should be focused on our quality of life, because right now it's not up to par. And we're going to keep having situations like this unless, our government steps in. Hey, look, we need to take care of our troops, our soldiers, and their families.
Take care how?
I mean, offer more things like, people say, oh, they have PTSD, they're going to blame it on this. PTSD is a serious thing. People don't give, the mental challenges that people face enough credit. Like, it can change you. Like, I mean, I have a disabled vet, mom who has PTSD, and she's not the same person that she was when I was younger from being deployed, because she doesn't get the proper attention she needs. So if we sit there and fix the underlying problem of, people saying they have these mental disabilities, our quality of life would be better.
Or we could just stop going to war with other countries like every single decade.
Yeah.
Like we always have to have a war.
I mean, her mom is fucked up because she was deployed for a bullshit conflict that changed nothing. It's like it was I'm assuming it was either Afghanistan or Iraq, and I mean,
more than likely,
what good did that do for us?
So much good.
I mean, how did that help us on the world stage? Did it, we got rid of Saddam Hussein and brought democracy
and
there.
that was really early into the conflict. You
Yeah.
know, the conflict continued long after Saddam Hussein was gone.
Yeah, well, then they had to try to, stabilize the country, which they had thrown into chaos and pretty much almost on the brink of civil war.
We have to do crazy things. We lose our sanity knowing that we don't get paid enough to work as much as we do. I could flip burgers right now and make more money.
You described Fort Hood as this black hole. You said you don't blame this 34-year-old shooter for doing what he did.
As awful as that sounds, I at the end of the day, I can't be mad at him.
I would disagree.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't remove all.
Yeah, he still made that decision to do
responsibility
that.
there.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand why someone did something, but it's not necessarily
extending some empathy is one thing, but like just totally absolving anyone of personal responsibility.
Yeah,
not really something I agree with.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
I blame his command. I blame the people not giving him that help that he needed. I'm more than sure he reached out to people. And I pray for all those families that were affected by this incident. But people just don't understand what it is to have the life that we do here at Hood.
People have said already that the Army was doing everything right. This man was undergoing anxiety and depression treatment. He wasn't having suicidal thoughts. He was on drugs. He was on Ambien. They were monitoring him. What was the Army not doing in your...
First of all, Ambien is a very powerful sleep drug that can cause hallucinations and lucid dreaming. Or, I mean, not lucid dreaming, but waking dreaming.
Maybe he thought he was dreaming.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. So I don't know if that was really
It's kind of always the same MO for these shootings. Like, someone goes and buys a gun, like, shortly before, like, 5, 9, whatever, just arbitrary amount of days before, and then they just go on the base or the building and just shoot the people, and then it's all like we're all trying to figure out, why did this happen? And we just have the same gun control debate that goes nowhere.
Opinion.
Maybe
Just
we should
because they're
change
saying
some
they're doing
laws or
things
something.
doesn't mean
No,
it's
everything's
true.
fine. Shut up.
My unit alone, if you go to behavioral health, you're listed as a crazy person. And they will treat you differently than what you would if you were just a normal soldier just sucking it up. Because a lot of people don't get the help because they don't want to be listed as crazy. They don't want to be treated differently.
How are you treated differently if you're listed with any kind of mental issue?
Basically, you're not good enough. You're different. You're crazy. You're crazy. That's the bottom line. Like, you don't deserve to be treated like, this soldier over here that, can perform all these duties without freaking out about something. Well, maybe that soldier didn't endure the same thing another soldier did.
Orange.
And they need to realize that. It's just crazy.
You said suicides are really bad here.
Definitely. And that's something that people are overlooking. They think it's just like, those people are being selfish. No, they're not being selfish. They're reaching out. They're showing signs, and nobody's just making the effort to do something about it.
It's pretty funny that in the last two stories we've talked about, the Orange story and this story, it's both like putting people in a totally unnatural atmosphere where you have unrealistic expectations placed on them, and there's an atmosphere where it's basically impossible for them to reach out to anyone and actually solve their problems. And you have people acting out in these violent ways, either towards themselves or towards others.
There obviously is still such a huge stigma on mental illness.
And they've already, and I've heard a lot of people say, well, if you don't like it, why don't you just quit? If you don't like your job,
just quit the Army. I'm sure that's how it works.
Well, and also you've devoted so many years of your life to that. It's like, what else are you going to find? What are you going to be able to get into?
Yeah, I mean, surely you can get into something, but it's not just to be like a smooth transition. I mean, you have to go to classes when you leave the military.
Yeah.
Like, how to be a civilian again?
Yeah.
I mean, you really do, because, I mean, it's pretty much an indoctrination process, and that's what they call it.
And sometimes you have to figure out that's just life. You can't change it, no matter what you want to do. I mean, if you want to try to get out, they're going to give you hell. It's not going to be easy. And you're going to end up screwing yourself because you're going to be left with nothing. You're not going to have, the benefits that take care of you. So who's to say you're going to make it on the outside world either? So it's a harsh reality knowing that either way, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to be unhappy. And it sucks that you have to live every day regretting joining something that you thought would have been good. Something that... And don't get me wrong, it's not like this at every post. It's not. I'm a military brat. And I've loved the places I've gone to. It just doesn't make any sense how Fort Hood and its soldier and families are treated.
So this person is saying that they, grew up on military bases and that Fort Hood is exceptionally shitty.
Yeah,
which kind of grokks with the fact that there's been 2 major shooting events there in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and these weren't just, crazy people that ran onto the base and started shooting people. This was from within.
Yeah. So I would say that what she said, should be taken pretty seriously.
Yeah.
I don't agree with everything she said or necessarily agree with some of her jumps in logic, but it seems like she's able to accurately identify.
Yeah, there is a problem there.
There is a problem with what's going on and how people are treated there.
Yeah, and their mental health on the base. I mean, a lot of people obviously are very depressed. I mean, like I said, there's a number of suicides on the base. There's a number of just problems going on there, and they're not really being addressed. They're kind of just being swept under the rug.
I mean, suicides in the American military are high anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very high.
The fact that she wanted to maintain her anonymity, though, shows that
there would be backlash.
These opinions are not welcome.
Yeah, because I mean, if you weren't afraid of reprisal, then you'd have no problem revealing your identity.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's afraid of some sort of backlash to that. What I think we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. We're going to talk about everyone's favorite subject of the podcast, SE Cup.
Hey, people in the chat are saying that when we go to full screen, the mics crack.
When we go to full screen?
Yeah, when it's full screen like this. Is that what you guys are saying? Let me just see what people are saying here.
When we go to full screen?
Like when I switch it so that
it says when you go full screen cam, your mics crackle.
Okay, well, we'll look into that during the break here.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Tacos rule.
Fuck you, Bill Maher. Fuck you, Bill Maher. Fuck you. Fuck your mother in her fucking asshole. Go fuck yourself. That cunt is a douchebag, and I fucking hate him. He gets on his dumb fuck show and talks shit like that all the time. Fuck you! Fuck you! Oh, fuck you! Fuck you!
fucking think. Do it live. We'll do it live. Do it live. Shut up. Shut up. Public, shut up. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Suck it. Fucking think. Fucking suck. Suck it. Fuck it. Suck it. Fuck it. Suck it. Fuck it. Suck it. Fuck it. Suck it.
Going on a trip? Way the fuck you get off talking to people about me behind my back going over my head? Fucker, fucker, fucker. Fucker, 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 fucker. I think in all fairness, I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do. For instance, tomorrow morning I'll get up, take a walk. Yeah. No, I don't have my money. Snakes? JT. Vincent with what he get me. Fun. A lot of action around here today, huh? Fucker. Ow! Ow! Fucker.
Fuck it! Suck it! Fuck it! Suck it! Fuck it! Suck it! Fuck it! Suck it! Fuck it! Fuck it! Fuck it! Suck it! I don't know what. I can't do it. I can't do it. Fucking sucks!
Now, what is it exactly that you do?
9/11 did it not happen? Did it not happen?
I guess you go on dates with guys, right?
I don't know what that means to play us out. What does that mean? I'll write it and we'll do it live. This is justice. You want anarchy?
If you think it's bad, fine.
There's no words there. Suck it. Fuck it. Fucking suck. Suck it. Fuck it. Fucking suck. Thing. Fucking thing. Sucks. Fucking sucks.
I don't know what. Getting high is good for children. Getting high is good for children. I'm a bisexual. Getting high is good for children.
Suck it.
You got the porn movies, so it's just you, the camera, and the computer. You got the porn movies.
Fucking thing. Suck it. 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 Suck it.
I'm a bisexual. I want to marry a guy and a babe. I'm a bisexual. I want to marry a guy and a babe.
Suck it. Suck it.
I'm thinking about coming out. I'm a bisexual. I'm thinking about oral sex.
Suck it. Suck it.
Is it tough being you? I'm thinking about oral sex.
Suck it.
I'm thinking about oral sex.
Suck it.
I'm thinking about oral sex.
Fuck it.
Did it not happen?
I'm a bisexual.
Suck it. Suck it. Suck it.
I'm a bisexual.
I don't know what that means to play us out. What does that mean?
And I never had any sex with my parents. And I never had any sex with my parents. I mean, I had oral sex with my father. It lasted about 2 minutes. I had oral sex with my father. It lasted about 2 minutes. I'm a bisexual. I want to marry a guy and a babe.
Suck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Suck it. Fuck it. Suck it. Suck it. Suck it. Suck it. Fuck it. Suck it. Fucking thing. Fucking thing. Fucking suck. Fucking suck. Fucking suck. Fucking
what's really frightening? I'm a bisexual.
Do it live to play us out. What does that mean? To play us out? I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean?
Absolutely dead, 100% wrong. You got you naked running around? I mean, I'm a bisexual. I want to marry a guy and a babe.
Suck it! Fuck it! Suck it!
Ben is dead.
TJ is dead.
Ben is dead.
TJ is dead.
Ben is dead.
Smoke pan every day.
We are all dead inside. Oh yeah, we're all dead inside, baby.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Do you feel the hate? Do you feel the hate? Ben is dead. Ben is dead. Ben is dead. Ben is dead. Ben is dead.
Ben is dead. Ben is dead.
I was dead, but I came back.
Ben. Zombie Ben.
And we're back.
No, we're not. You're dead.
I'm dead.
You're fucking dead, buddy.
The ghost of Ben returns.
You retard.
It's not a ghost, it's a zombie. Then when we kill the zombie, he comes back
The ghost
as
of
a
Ben.
He comes back as a skeleton, and then we kill the skeleton, and it comes back as a ghost of a skeleton.
I'll get you, He-Man.
Do you play his like ribs like a trombone, like or like a xylophone, like boom, boom?
Xylophone, bitch.
So we were talking earlier about Dusty's latest video. We wanted to show it to everybody because it's pretty awesome. We liked it a lot.
Dusty is musty.
Dusty is musty.
Fuck Dusty. He's a piece of shit. Fuck yo, Dusty. Fuck yo.
That cunt is a douchebag, and I fucking hate him. Anyway, yeah, so Dusty, he recently moved to Denver, as he was talking about the last time he was on the show here. And apparently...
When are we going to... That reminds me, when are we going to review an episode of Denver the Last Dinosaur on this show?
What?
We have to do that at some point.
What?
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, like, really what?
Anyway.
Denver, the last dinosaur.
Ben's not dead, he is surely alive.
I am. I rose from the dead, and it didn't even take me, like, 10 minutes.
Doze from the red.
So Dusty lives in downtown Denver, and he had an altercation, a verbal altercation with a street preacher, and it's hilarious, and we're going to play it now.
Good.
And anyone who isn't subscribed to Dusty should subscribe.
Yes.
And go to his page.
Subscribe or die.
Dusty
Hey
is the
guys, what's
master.
up? It's me, Dusty. And some of you might know I moved to Denver recently for business purposes. Anyway, I've been here like two weeks already, and this place fucking rocks. Love it. Everybody in Denver has been awesome to me. But I have an apartment right outside the 16th Street Mall in downtown Denver. So I was walking around today. It was a beautiful weekend day, and there was a lot of people walking up and down the 16th Street Mall. And there was a guy there who's a street preacher, and what he does is he stands out there and he yells at people. He's this black guy with a British accent, and he threatens them with eternal torture and damnation and hellfire if they don't join his cult. And you know, in my opinion, people have free speech, but they should not be allowed to do this kind of shit unchecked. When somebody threatens women and children with eternal torture, I don't care if you're saying you're going to do it or not. They never say they're going to do it. They always hide behind their God because they're too big of a coward to say it themselves. But what they're actually doing is they're actually threatening people with torture if they don't join their cult. And that's bullshit, man. Yes, they have freedom of speech, but I also have my freedom of speech to get up all in their ass and tell them what the fuck is what. And you don't even have to let these motherfuckers speak. You don't even have to let them talk, man. You don't even have to let them retort. All you got to tell them is to shut the fuck up while the grown-ups are talking.
He is like the worst fucking nightmare. What the fuck is that noise? Fuck you, TJ. Seriously.
Yeah, cut that shit out.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that
seriously.
in my fucking ear. You asshole, TJ.
We're gonna take your phone away.
No.
Yes.
Don't.
We're gonna ban TJ from the show. TJ, you're now banned.
You're not my master.
You are banned, TJ.
So yeah, would you agree though that Dusty is probably the street preacher's worst nightmare?
I don't know.
Well, he was this guy.
The street peepers. The street
peeper.
The street peeper.
He peeps on the street.
Peepers is what TJ has on his mind.
He is a peeping Tom.
Peeper.
As soon as they get out there and start threatening motherfuckers with torture, they've given up their right to fucking speak to me. Oh, fuck no, you don't threaten me, motherfucker. Anyway, this guy was yelling threats at women and children, and I simply yelled at him, that's some
Dusty.
bullshit, man. To which he said to me, your God is Satan, your God is Satan, you're gonna burn in hell for eternity, you're gonna suffer.
The funny thing is that that's the argument G-Man used on us. Like, you're all a bunch of Satanists. You have satanic altars.
You got satanic altar down in your basement.
You going to
hell.
Why don't you go suck Satan dick some more, motherfucker?
No, actually, TJ, you said that you would suck Satan's dick.
TJ.
Well, I would suck Satan's
racist against G-Man.
Describe his member, TJ.
It was
Describe the member of Satan, TJ.
It was like 10 times bigger than a horse cock. It was like this.
What color was it, TJ? Describe what you did to it.
It's
in
whatever color
graphic
you want it
detail.
to be.
Oh, I see.
I see.
It's a rainbow.
A rainbow.
Pay
that would
no
make
attention
sense
to the
for
bumping
homosexuals.
Satan's
noise beneath the table.
Satan's Technicolor dream cock.
To which
Satan's
I said,
cock.
prove it,
Now in
motherfucker.
Technicolor.
And then he said, you got 5 minutes? So I was like, fuck yeah, I got 5 minutes. So I walked right into his face, and this is the conversation we had.
These people are just watching.
Unfortunately, we're kind of cutting off the
subtitles.
Yes. So hopefully people can still understand it because it's a little bit unclear, but hopefully people get the gist.
You know what I could do? Here, give me 1 second here.
Give Ben 1 second, folks.
1 second.
Yeah. Switch to this.
TJ's giving you a truly immersive experience.
Yes. That's right.
There we go. Now they'll be able to
It'd
see.
be more immersive if they could actually smell it, though.
We have certain forms of freedom. No, you have to There's also being an asshole. Being an asshole, coming around here and yelling and interrupting these people's days. We don't want you interrupting them. So I don't have freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech, but you also are being an asshole. Don't you understand that you can both have freedom of speech and be an asshole at the same time? Didn't your parents teach you that?
That's pretty awesome. The guy's trying to do like, don't I have freedom of speech?
He's like,
Dusty's
yes.
like, yeah, you have the freedom to do what you want, but you're being a douchebag.
Yeah.
Or an asshole is the word he used.
Yeah.
I would use the word douchebag, but you know. Dusty's even more racist than me. He's accosting black people on the
Oh
street.
shit! Yeah, Dusty's the amazing
So-
Dusty.
So
slash
Dusty's
racist.
the amazing racist, not me.
Cult of racism. How about that?
I'm proclaiming loudly. About ancient fairy tales. You're threatening these people. Are you? You're not, what are you saying about God? Are you saying that God's going to send them to hell if they don't believe in your cult? Are you telling people that? Now it's a cult, right? Hey, it's a cult. So you're just Absolutely.
I like how he won't directly answer any of his questions. He's just kind of like, oh, well, now you're saying this, and that's wrong. You know?
I'm offended,
Yep.
but No one's allowed to be offended when you say that they're going to hell, though.
Yeah, he's screaming at random
They
people.
have rights.
You going to hell? You going to hell?
To mock. Okay. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Mock your religion into extinction. That's exactly what it should be.
There's no way you're going to be able to do that.
It's already
God,
happening.
God is more powerful.
It's already happening.
So you have
God
no,
doesn't exist.
You have no intentions of experiencing what Jesus did in my life.
I was a Christian for 30 years. I don't give a shit. I know you're full of shit. I know you're a member of a cult, and you're out here preaching your cult bullshit.
There's nothing I can tell you.
Absolutely.
To convince that God has did something in my life.
All you have to do is provide evidence. Can you provide evidence?
I'm about to.
Okay.
I'm about to provide evidence.
I'm about to.
Mountain of motherfucking evidence.
Any second now.
Is he about to say that he has a 100% prayer success rate?
100% of my prayers are answered.
They're answered, but
sometimes the answer is just God ignoring me.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
God will be like, results are hazy. Try again later.
Oh, yeah, that's what God is. He's the little round 8-ball that you shake around.
No, because at least that gives you answers.
All hail magic 8-ball.
You can go.
The Bible's a book of evidence in my life. The Bible is a claim. That's not the evidence.
I will give you what Jesus did for me.
That's not evidence. That's an evidence.
There's nothing I can tell you to convince you.
You know what evidence is? You just give a scientific peer-reviewed evidence.
Are you going to allow me to speak? You're just going to keep going and going and going and going. Well, there's no point then. No point. So you're just going to
I love how angry he's getting. He's very angry.
Dusty?
No. The preacher.
Well, both of them seem kind of angry, but
no. Well,
Dusty's is more like a righteous indignation, whereas this guy's like, "Oh shit, someone's calling me out."
Our brilliant people in chat someone wrote, "Oh, it just got moved down." Let's see. He was basically saying, "How is he supposed to answer anything when Dusty is mentally masturbating in his face?"
Wow.
I don't know how Dusty could masturbate in this guy's face. This guy's way taller than Dusty.
Dusty prefaced it by saying this guy was yelling at people and being a nuisance to everyone around there until he went and confronted him.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you can see, the guy's trying to run away from him right now. He's trying to get away, and Dusty just kept following him with the camera, so it's pretty funny. And actually, he actually attracts other people into the argument that take his side. It's pretty funny.
I don't understand this. Like, you're not giving this guy like free the ability to respond back, but basically Dusty knows what he's going to respond with and can cut him off at the pass because he keeps trying to do the typical fundamentalist Christian sophistry where it's like, well, I have personal experience. It's like, no, that's not evidence, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't know Dusty personally, but we've had him on the show twice, and he's been on like 6 hours total with us, and he is one of the best off the cuff talkers.
Oh yeah,
that
he has that ability to just conjure up the proper response in any situation, and even if it's something that he might not know a lot about, he can easily just bullshit his way through it.
Unfortunately, Dusty is a racist.
That's why we want to have him on. Because Brett Keane has made at least 2 videos to Dusty personally.
Audience, go to Dusty and tell him to cancel his stupid date and come and fuck Brett Keane instead.
And then if Dusty's date has a YouTube channel, let them know that Dusty has some kind of weird thing going on.
Yeah,
Dusty has venereal diseases or something.
Yeah, Dusty's got gonorrhea. You don't want to even be with him.
He has Hep C. He has everything. He's going to give you the plague.
Yes.
He's going to give you the bubonic plague.
Dusty ejaculates pure bubonic plague.
It's not going to be a two-way conversation. If it's not going to be a two-way conversation, there's no point. Why?
The talk to the hand.
Yeah, he keeps giving him the talk to the hand
Talk
thing.
to the hand, mate. Because the face ain't listening.
Why? Yes, I have. How about that? Oh, yeah. Yes, I have. Yes. People have come to me to be prayed for and accept Jesus Christ. There you go. Boom. In your face.
In your face.
In your face. I have no logical reason.
Obedience.
If God is on his...
I like how he's
holding
his
little dog, too.
Yeah, that's cute.
Dog just like, okay.
I've seen that dog in some of his other videos, too.
That dog is awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't Dusty
have
like
a Yorkie or something?
Doesn't Dusty have 10 dogs or something?
I think he has 8 or 6.
How does he have 6 dogs and live in an apartment?
Yeah. Like, what landlord thinks that's okay? Maybe he left a few in Mississippi.
Maybe he left a few out when he was filling out his lease application.
Yeah. Some people do that.
God, he should have any problem talking to me. God should handle me easily, but he won't.
You don't want to talk. You just want to accuse me falsely.
If God is on your side,
that is so telling right there. You don't want to talk to me. You just want to falsely accuse me. Is that not what this motherfucker does every day?
Yeah, he just this is coming from a person who literally spends his spare time accosting people on the street and telling them that they need to change their lives and get right with Jesus.
People he knows absolutely nothing about. They could be they could be more moral than him.
You know what it reminds me of? One time there was this YouTuber back in the day called Metabob, and he worked in LA and he was a screenwriter. He actually wrote a Night of the Living Dead 3D or something, some terrible low budget zombie movie. Ostensibly a remake of the Night of the Living Dead, but not really. And anyway, he and I used to get in some altercations, and finally I decided, because I lived pretty close to him at the time, that I'd just go meet him. And he takes he looks at Scotty, and he
oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, he pulls my little brother aside and he's like, "Hey, you should be an electrical engineer," and it's like he knew he knew nothing of Scotty, just zero, just zip, just absolutely fuck all, and yet he was like, "You need to be an electrical engineer," and I think that's this guy. This guy is an even more extreme version of that, because he's going to tell you not just what career you should choose based on nothing but pulling whimsy out of his ass.
Scotty does look like he is an electrical engineer, though. He has just that look on his face.
Yeah,
like he's an electrical engineer. Like I thought he was.
Metabob just took one look at him like,
electrical engineer.
He licked his finger.
He's like Adam. He just looks at you in the cartoon. He's like,
I'm thinking electrical engineer.
He looks at you and is like, you are frog.
That was one of the scenes I left when I did that Creationism Bites video where I redubbed that old creationist cartoon, like Bible Adventures or whatever. There was a scene in that cartoon, and I couldn't find anywhere to use it, but they literally have a scene where he's naming the animals, and he's looking at a swan. He's like, "Well, you're so beautiful and graceful. I think I'll call you a swan." It's like, I don't understand this.
It was so lame.
He's just pulling syllables out of his ass, and not only that, there's multiple languages on Earth, so how does it even make sense that he supposedly named the animals?
That actually reminds me of, there's a very talented guy that makes animations on YouTube, Sam T, Ebola World, and he made a thing called Messed Up Bible Stories, and he did the whole thing where Adam names every animal. It's pretty fucking funny.
It's like, I guess Aardvark?
Yeah, actually.
You can be platypus?
What is that? What is a beaver with a fucking duck bill, and what it has venomous spurs? What the fuck are you? What?
We'll call that one cow.
If you would be patient, see, he won't even let me speak. He just keeps talking.
If an all-powerful God was
you
on
have
your
free
side,
will.
you can shut me up.
You have free will.
I have free will, so let me ask you a question.
I like how he keeps turning his back to him, like, get the fuck away from me.
People are saying that, oh, by the way, the full screen is still crackling.
I don't give a shit.
Ben, okay, everyone, you have your answer. Ben does not give a shit, so stop complaining.
Yeah. I don't know how to fix it right now, and we're not going to, stop just because it's happening. So I guess we'll have to deal with that later.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody.
I'm not sorry.
I am.
No, you're not.
I'm sorry.
Isn't a byproduct of free will? Is there sin in the world because we have free will? Okay. Is there sin in heaven? No. Then there's no free will in heaven. Is there sin in heaven?
You don't. No, there's not.
Is sin a byproduct of free will?
Absolutely.
Then there's no free will in heaven.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
because
there's no
we are
free will in
made.
heaven.
Because we are made perfect.
So we're just robots in heaven, mindlessly worshiping the all-powerful God.
You won't even listen.
Yeah, this is the question that would get me in trouble in Catholic school all the time. I would say the exact same thing. I would ask Sister Mary Patrick, well, are we even really ourselves in heaven when there's no sin in heaven? Or are we just kind of a robotic version of ourselves? That question was never really answered. Well, it was answered with a ruler across the knuckles. So,
well, I mean, you're an automaton. Do not ask questions.
That's a good question. Like, if you're someone who like smokes and drinks and gambles and stuff, but you're still basically a good person and you go to heaven, I mean, like, do you just not even have the urge to smoke and drink and gamble? And if so, why would that be? What alleviates those urges? Is it just because you're in God's presence and you're just basking in his glory, so you don't even have time to think about that shit? Like, oh, God is so amazing. Oh, God is so amazing. He's so awesome.
That sounds pretty awful.
Oh,
It
it's
sounds
so
like a
fucking
giant
That's
circle
exactly
so fucking cute.
What you're hearing right now is exactly what TJ says when he masturbates.
No.
Oh, God.
That's not what I said.
Oh, God.
God is so amazing.
Oh, God.
I'm so naughty. I'm supposed to be an atheist. I'm jerking off to God.
Yes. So sexy.
When TJ wants to jerk off, he just opens a Bible and starts reading.
But I don't have the same God as other people.
Yes. His God.
My God is flesh.
Shia LaBeouf.
Not quite.
I know.
I stopped you here. You came over here, and now you're mad.
You
You're
screamed
frustrated.
at me that Satan was my God.
Because you accused me. Huh? I threatened you?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Now
You
you're
threatened
falsely.
me with the
Now you're
are you not?
false.
Are you not threatening me with torture? What is
I'm
Satan?
threatening you
What
with
is Satan?
torture.
What is Satan?
I'm threatening you with torture. I'm going to torture you.
No,
You
you're
ain't.
not brave enough.
You don't
to
even
threaten me yourself. So
You
have
don't
to
even
hide
know.
behind
You
your
don't even
fictional
know how
God.
to.
I like how he tries to remove himself from the
Yeah.
shit that he's saying.
You don't know
Well,
how to
it's not
debate
me.
people.
It's not me that's going to torture you. It's God. It's
No.
not me.
Well, it's not God. I guess it's going to be the devil when he goes to hell. They're going to be tortured him there. I guess Satan's minions will torture him.
Satan's like, hey,
He's actually trying to save him.
Time
That's
to
what he's
get
saying.
fucking pitchfork in your butthole. Oh, yeah, torture.
You're being tortured. How you like that?
Threaten people.
Yeah, this is eternity for you, faggot.
Heart. You need a new heart.
How do you know? You don't know anything about me.
I see what comes out. I hear what comes out your mouth. I know. First of all, you have a foul mouth.
So this lady's trying to ask him a question too, but he's pissed off at this point and trying to get away from all the
He's like a
detractors.
wounded animal trying to escape.
I don't want to speak to you no more. You have a foul mouth.
He should have been like, explosive diarrhea, I have to go.
Oh, he's doing the you have a foul mouth, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It didn't bother him up until all of his arguments started getting shut down.
I think he should have done the explosive diarrhea excuse, like, I have diarrhea.
Look, man, I gotta go take a shit. I'll see you later.
Filthy mouth.
Is that I'm stalking you. You're out here in public probably yelling at people. I'm stalking you. You didn't ask me. What did you ask me? Man. Get over yourself, dude.
And one thing I've noticed about most of these asshole street preachers that I confront is as soon as I confront them, they fucking try to scurry away like the goddamn cockroaches they are. They're fine out there screaming their threats to women and children. They have no problem with that. But when some motherfucker gets up in their face and starts telling them how it is, oh hell no, they cannot hack. They run their happy ass away as soon as they see the fucking camera come on. And you know why that is? Because they know fucking God ain't got their back. Because if God had your back, if you're all powerful, God had your back, it wouldn't fucking matter if somebody was filming it. You would win fucking instantly because your God is all powerful. In fact, you wouldn't have to try to shut me up. Your God would shut me up instantly. I would be fucking muted, unable to say a word, astounded by your goddamn logic. You're all brave motherfuckers hiding behind your God and somebody.
You know, I don't know if Dusty's a wrestling fan, but this is like this is almost like a wrestling promo right here. The way he's doing it, how he's like pointing at the camera and shit like that.
Well, Dusty just needs to take some steroids.
Yeah, that's
get
all he needs.
Get a little bulkier.
Yeah.
And then he can be a professional wrestler.
Yes.
Gets up in your face about it, then you can't
He's a
hang
better
with the
costume,
shit.
though.
Well, you better get used
He
to
needs,
it.
like,
You better
oversized
get used to more
sunglasses.
motherfuckers getting up in your face and challenging on this bullshit because you're out there fucking threatening people. You're out there trying to scare people and intimidate them and terrorizing them into joining your cult, and it's unfucking acceptable in a decent society. And you know, a lot of people will probably say that confronting these guys does no good, doesn't help anything, doesn't change anything. Well, that's bullshit. I noticed as soon as I got brave enough to stand up and confront this guy, other people came in and started confronting him as well. When you're brave, it inspires other people to be brave. More people need to stand up to them, tell them this is not acceptable. More people need to crawl up inside their monkey asses and lay down some motherfucking logic. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
I'm being told that our show is so choppy that it's hard to understand what we're saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. Well,
So I don't know what
I blame Canada.
I don't know what the root cause of that is, but it does seem like it's a serious issue.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's improved any or what's going on. But
Let us survey those in the chat room.
Chat room.
Chat room! What say you of quality?
What's going on here?
Yeah, because it looks like a lot of people are... I don't see a lot of comments on that, but just let us know. Give us some feedback on that really quick, because we may need to just restart everything if that's what's happening.
It's going to be a moment before before they even get to this part in the show. What's next on the agenda?
We have your favorite SE Cup.
I guess we could stall for a little bit of time while we're waiting for the chat room to catch up to the show.
Yeah, just let us know. Is it so choppy that you can't understand what's going on? People are saying it's not that bad anymore. It's fine. It's all right. It sounds fine to me.
Okay.
I'm having no issues here. No, it's not.
All right.
Who told you that?
It's a friend of mine.
Okay.
It says only when you're switched to full screens between you and Scotty.
Oh, okay.
The other videos are fine.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to stop doing that for now.
It says only when it's me or Scotty are full screened does it seem to be a problem.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on there. It might be accessing the microphones for the webcams or something. Not sure what's going on. But
All right.
We'll just abstain from doing that for this broadcast.
All right. So, SE Cup, TJ's best friend on Earth.
My breast friend.
His breast friend.
I do not care about SE Cup, because to me, like, stupidity on her level is like the most gigantic turnoff in existence. But it does seem like a lot of people in our show have boners for SE Cup.
Including TJ.
No.
TJ had sex with SE Cup. He tried to, at least. He told me about it one time. He's like, Scotty.
I had sex with her toes.
Now, you had sex with her, like I think the blouse that she wears.
Was this the same time when you had sex with Sean Hannity's hair?
No, he had sex with her clothes. He's like, I don't like you, but I like your fashion.
His hair was actually wrapped in her toes, and so it was simultaneous. So it was the same occasion. I fucked her toes and his hair at the same time. It's a magical moment in my life.
I don't believe that. I think you had sex with her outfits. You're like, your fashion sense is so sexy.
Like I masturbated into a pair of her panties or something.
No, like just your, I think it was like a blouse or something. Is what you said you had sex with.
Okay.
She's going to talk about what politicians get wrong about women.
Okay.
Talk about women, like, because I'm a woman. Oh, I'm a woman. Sure, that makes sense.
These aren't scripted. This is just off the cuff.
I read this really interesting fact about women today. I looked this up. We've been around for a really long time. Women didn't just
What?
You weren't there. You weren't there.
I looked this up, and apparently we've been around for a really long time.
Some solid research.
You know what, though? Was SE Cup there when women first came into existence? I don't think so. She wasn't there.
You know, I think, though, she's describing your cock, TJ.
Oh,
right
yeah?
there. Yeah.
No. I wish.
Maybe the size of TJ's ego, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe the ego. Like, his ego is this large, but, you know.
spontaneously start appearing. And you'd think, having been around so long as we have, that politicians would have figured out how to deal with us and relate to us.
Yeah, they figured out how to deal with you by not letting you vote.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like, women got the right to vote in, like, 1918, I want to say.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
I mean, like, that's a pretty recent development, you know, in terms of, like, all of human history.
Yes. And that almost coincided with the temperance movement.
I don't know that that politicians know how to talk to anybody at this point, though, because like politicians don't really talk to people; they just try to make statements that
they know to talk to rich people.
Yeah, well, their conversations with rich people go kind of like this: "Can I have some money?
Give me a little bit of money." Which the Supreme Court ruled they can pretty much give as much as they want now as well. So.
And Lee Doran's very happy about that.
Well, of course he is.
He says that unless you've actually read the entire ruling, you're not allowed to criticize it. So that's good to know.
That sounds like it's something he would say.
And I think both parties fail women on some accounts. On the left, I think Democrats really pander to women and treat women as a monolith, as the sum of their reproductive parts. And they treat women as if we are victims of Republicans, victims of the state, victims of men. And that just isn't the case. On the right, Republicans don't seem to have an empathy with women. They don't seem to connect.
This is just such a superficial read of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, Democrats are like this, Republicans are like that, and, you know, I'm even-handed for pointing out that both parties have flaws.
I'm going to make a bunch of very vague, nebulous statements, and hopefully people will agree with them.
Republicans are so strict in their economic principles, sometimes they can't relate
Economic
that
principles.
to
So strict in their economic principles,
The
like the Paul Ryan budget.
The Republicans they don't even give half of a fifth of an eighth of a fuck about their economic principles. That's the first shit that just, they don't, you know, they give a shit about fucking, if their economic principles are like, make sure that rich people don't have to pay any taxes.
What are their principles? Tax cuts for the rich, cut every service for middle class and the average American?
I mean, like, the Republicans have all this rhetoric about, like, we're not going to spend, but then when Bush was in the White House and the Republicans controlled the fucking
Congress and Senate.
Yeah, I mean, they fucking spent money like it was fucking going out of fucking style. So, I mean, you know, I don't believe that this is some party of economic, you know, great economic principle. This is like, hey, let's make sure that rich people just have as much power as we can possibly get to them. And the way we'll do that is we'll get a bunch of fucking country rubes to vote for us because we're going to be the ones who wave the flag and hold the cross and say that we're going to ban abortion even though we're never going to fucking do it, because even when we have all the power and we should have the ability to do it, we still don't do it because it's too easy to win elections on. I mean, like, they win elections on social issues and then all they ever do is further the economic interest of the super fucking rich every time they get in there.
A woman lives her life. So if I had advice for Democrats, I would say, watch it on the victimhood narrative, because that only goes so long before the victim realizes, I'm not a victim. And on the Republican side, if I were offering advice,
Democrats,
I would
quit
say,
victimizing women by saying that women are
stop
victims.
saying stupid shit. You can bleep that, right?
You cute little button.
Yeah.
You lovable little scamp, S.E. Cup.
Every time I see her, I just hope that God is real and that like the hand of God like reaches down and just squishes her like a little bug. Dead.
Yeah.
S.E. Cup. Dead.
Everyone says she looks manly in this video.
I don't think she looks manly.
It's a man, baby! Worst Austin Powers impression ever, but...
People are fucking retarded. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they talk about her like she's the hottest thing on earth. I don't think she's that attractive, but I don't think she looks manly.
Yeah, she looks just like an average.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Outrage. Are we going to rage out at the outrage?
Yeah, during our last show, we covered
ourselves in peanut butter.
Shh.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah. We covered the basic murder of a homeless man sleeping in the desert who was killed by 5 cops with M16s.
Yeah, for those of you guys who did they do a recap in this?
A little bit, yeah.
They pretty much do a recap, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go ahead and play it then.
All right. This is about the police shooting in Albuquerque, the killing of a homeless man and the aftermath.
"36 police-involved shootings since 2010, 23 of which someone died. That's what spurred these violent protests in Albuquerque this past week. And Sunday, just 2 weeks after the last fatal...
I love when the police shoot people. That's not referred to as violence, but when people rise up and try to do something about it,
violent protest.
Violent protest.
0 people died at this protest, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many people did the protesters kill again?
None. And the only violence was perpetrated by the police.
Yeah, the
that
police.
Were there.
Yeah, they were basically just thugs at this point.
Yeah, the protests weren't violent. The police response to the protests were violent.
Which it's kind of it's like almost a cycle. When these police start using the heavy-handed tactics, obviously this crowd's going to respond violently too, because they're seeing people be assaulted by the police for no good reason.
And as someone who lived in Albuquerque for several years, the drift you get from the locals there is, stay under the police radar. Don't even be anywhere near the police. Avoid the police at all costs, because they are known for using violent tactics against pretty much anyone they encounter.
Yeah.
Shooting, things got downright
Fuck the police.
The federal government is investigating because the community demands answers.
I like this
Let's
music
take a
they
look
got
at
in the
video.
background.
But before you do, let me warn you, it contains graphic video of that deadly incident. Take a listen.
This is not what you expect to see in Albuquerque. An initially peaceful protest Sunday eventually soured, turning part of downtown into a riot here in Tier.
That's not downtown, by the way. That's near campus and kind of near the Nob Hill district. Not downtown.
You can't expect the news to know these things.
Yeah.
They're just like, it's downtown or something.
Some place. Who gives a fuck?
Demonstrators, one even bearing a rifle, said they need to protect.
Okay, that guy's stupid, and he's asking to get shot.
One guy bearing a rifle. But you know what the funny thing is? Like, he has a rifle, so we're supposed to look at him and be like, oh, it's an extremist. But the police can carry guns around everywhere, and they're actually shooting people with them, and we're just supposed to be like, that's good. They can protect us.
The state says they're fine. This other guy with the gun, he's a dangerous criminal.
We only want state-approved thugs.
Themselves against police after the deadly shooting of a homeless man shown on video released by the police.
Yeah, so there it is right there. They shot him and killed him. This is in the foothills of the mountain. Maybe this may have been someone's property. There's a lot of really elaborate, huge houses up there, but who was he bothering, and did he deserve to be killed? No.
He was sleeping in the desert. It wasn't even like, you couldn't even make the case like he was a public nuisance. He's sleeping in the middle of the desert. They wake him up. They tell him, come on down the mountain. He agrees. He starts coming down. For some reason, they decide to fire like a flash grenade at him.
And then they sick a dog on him.
He fights back. He tries to grab some knives out of his pocket, and they shoot him.
But you know, in New Mexico, it's legal to have an open carry firearm, so I don't see why these police or anyone should focus on the guy having a rifle.
Yep, that is true. Yeah, open carry is perfectly legal there.
Yeah, so the guy with the rifle slung over his shoulder is not even doing anything wrong according to New Mexico law.
Yeah.
Right.
Police department.
They shot first and asked questions later. Unarmed civilians who didn't even show a threat.
Police say that's not true. They say the homeless man wielded 2 knives.
Okay, and then the scene you're looking at right now is after they shot him, they're telling him to get up.
Yeah.
And he can't move because he's been shot numerous times.
And he's dying.
They've shot him numerous times with an M16, and they're like, yeah, fucking put your hands behind your back. You under arrest. It's like, no, he's dead. He's dying.
Yeah, if you guys are curious, go look up the...
At this point in the
size
video,
of the ammo they use in an M16.
Yeah, and this guy is sitting there crying and basically just begging not to be hurt anymore. As the police are just like, yeah, fucking get what you get, criminal scum.
Yeah, and he was complying, and they shot a flashbang at him, and then he got spooked and was like, what the hell is going on, and reacted to what they were doing. A stimulus they're responsible for, and then they shot and killed him.
And would not obey orders. But trust has dissolved in parts of this community. And with an ongoing U.S. Justice Department investigation into use of force by the Albuquerque Police Department.
This story has an intense score.
Yeah.
12, the need to smooth relations between the police and the community is clearly a work in progress.
Here we have an instance where there's multiple investigations, but yet we have the mayor taking sides. What say you, Seem, as to this whole issue?
Jumping off my colleague Dream Teamers today, the problem with the law enforcement organizations here is that it's after the fact. So after the killings, after the shootings, then we investigate. But we're not backtracking to find out what is the impetus to this problem and why all of these shootings are in fact occurring.
Damn
What use is it
communist.
after a crime or an incident or a death has occurred to investigate.
Let me just say something. Looking for the underlying cause? I'll tell you the underlying cause. We got a country filled with communist faggots. And they just asking for a bullet. So what?
Damn right.
Cops give them a bullet, and then everyone wants to whine about it. Well, you know what he was at? He should have thought about that before he was homeless and crazy.
Them 6 police officers threatened by that terrorist. Look at his beard. And look where they at. It was probably Afghanistan this happened, not New Mexico, whatever hell that's supposed to be at, another country, in fact.
New Mexico.
Yeah, it is fucking amazing how many Americans think that New Mexico is another country. I just want to point that out. A lot of Americans think that New Mexico, one of the 50 U.S. states, it's been a state for over 100 years now. They think it's another fucking country.
I want to point this out. Someone asked, what exactly is the point of this broadcast?
What?
You, sir, American Hearts Radio Web TV, are an idiot.
Good night.
Good night. That is all we have to say to you.
Good night, everybody.
change.
We just
the
realized our
script
show
here,
has no
right?
point.
And that's what this protest was
We
about.
give up.
The protest was about an expression of our First Amendment rights, but unfortunately, balancing that against danger, it becomes an unlawful assembly.
Yeah, so that's
An
what we have on
unlawful assembly. Yeah, give me a break.
that. Next story we have is some campaign about dads breastfeeding, which I thought was kind of funny.
Dad's breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I think TJ wants to breastfeed. He looks like he'd be good at it too.
I don't lactate.
They are pictures meant to start a
Maybe
conversation.
not yet. As soon as you have a baby, you will.
Because nobody's talking to men.
Men, some shirtless, holding infants as though they're breastfeeding. Photographer Hector Cruz says this project is personal. When his wife was pregnant, he wanted to learn about caring for newborns.
What if they're
Says
just a bunch
he
of
wasn't allowed
pedophiles
to
that
breastfeed.
have like a fetish for kids sucking on their nipples, and they just wanted an excuse to like make it happen and be like, "This is an art project. We're making a statement." You know, you got to think about these things.
For 2 a.m. feedings.
And we had a lot of issues, and I did not know how to help. And I felt frustrated, confused. I felt just completely helpless at that point. So I know that if I felt that way, there are many fathers who are out there that are kind of facing that same
I
struggle.
want to tug on his beard.
And that's how Project Breastfeeding was born. The Clarksville dad says he was surprised by how many people wanted to take photos for the campaign.
I'm in a military town, so that was, you know, a lot of the guys who have posed are either active or retired military. But I found that once I
Kid does not like the taste of that milk.
Yeah, that kid's like,
He's like, no, I don't want
terrible.
it. I don't want to suck the hairy titty. No, nothing comes out but sweat.
To other dads, a lot of them felt the way that I did.
Hector says the goal isn't just to get people talking, but to engage and educate dads. He also hopes the pictures help tackle any stigma associated with public breastfeeding.
I decided I was going to change my community. I figured if I can make my community the most breastfeeding friendly community, I will have succeeded, and then I don't have to worry about my wife going anywhere and breastfeeding my daughter.
People who like are seriously like taking issue with breastfeeding in public, like, just need to fucking stop being a bunch of squeamish babies.
They must literally have nothing better to do with their
It's just
time.
like, that woman is feeding her child in a grotesque way that my God apparently created, but still I'm against it because fucking values or whatever.
Fucking values or what?
Why would you even care? I mean, it's just like so lame. It's not like they're doing it to like be like, look at this tit. They're just trying to feed their kid. It's nothing to do with that. You're the one putting the connotation that it's sexual.
There's something sexy going on here. That woman is molesting that child. Ah!
Next story we're going to cover is David Letterman. He's retiring. And earlier TJ said, yeah, it's probably time for that.
It's been time.
Yeah, I think
not even just because of his age or anything, but just because, like, if you watch his show, it's just stale beyond belief.
Yeah, I mean, he has been on for a very, very long time.
Oh, get used to the idea of life without your top 10 list every night and another seismic shift in the world of late.
This is kind of a total aside. I mean, not a total aside, but, you know, I'm a big Marilyn Manson fan, and actually Marilyn Manson appeared on Letterman in like 1998, and it's literally like the worst, most awkward interview I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's when he said he wanted to go over to the band and like break their equipment.
Yeah, I don't know.
I remember watching
He was a total
that.
douche.
There was like, Letterman didn't know what to say or ask, and Manson was just kind of like, here I am. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what do you want? I don't know. It's a very, it's like a really
Extremely awkward.
It's like the most awkward, painfully awkward thing I've ever seen.
He
in my
did
life.
go back on the show though, and it was like more normal.
Yeah, like he did like I think another appearance, maybe even two more, or I think it was at least one more appearance that was just, you know, normal and fine, and there was no problems. But like that first one that he did like in '98 was just fucking abysmally bad. So anyone who wants to just watch like an abysmally terrible interview for some reason, if you just want to like, if you just get off on awkwardness, go check it out sometime. Anyway, let's watch this Letterman
Television.
retiring
David Letterman,
thing.
host of The Late Show on CBS, says he is retiring next year. I want to get our senior media correspondent, Brian Stelter, to give us the very latest. How did this leak?
This leaked out because there was a performer at the theater where Letterman was taping his show who heard it and then put it on Twitter. I think CBS will very shortly come out and confirm the news, but they're letting David Letterman finish taping his show. He usually tapes around this time of day here in New York before they come out and confirm it. They want to let him have the stage and explain it for himself.
This is, for somebody who grew up eating dorm room pizza while watching Stupid Pet Tricks, this is sort of a poignant moment, Brian, but it has to have a lot to do with the changing landscape, right? The two Jimmys.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Two Jimmys.
Yeah, that just sounds weird.
The two Jimmys.
Show me a Jimmy, TJ. Hurry up.
He's talking about Fallon and Kimmel, obviously, but he didn't really elaborate, so it sounds weird.
I fucking revile Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Kimmel sucks too. He just makes shit for the internet.
Jimmy Kimmel is okay. I mean, like, I don't watch his show.
Yeah,
I
but
probably never would.
He just makes link bait now, basically.
Sure. I mean, whatever.
They both do.
I don't care. I mean, I make stuff for the internet, so I can't really be like.
Yeah, but they actually have huge production budgets, and they actually have the ability to get their stuff seen without having to resort to those tactics.
Yeah. But I at least can stomach him. Jimmy Fallon, it's like painful for me to listen to that fucking guy. He's just agonizing.
I think they both suck ass, personally, but whatever.
I
would not watch either of them willingly. Let's put it like that.
I think moments on unnecessary censorship is pretty funny.
That just a few weeks ago we saw his arch rival Jay Leno step down after so many years on the Tonight Show. Now Jimmy Fallon's taken his place. Jimmy Kimmel. Both those Jimmys are examples of a younger generation in late night. David Letterman, on the other hand, is 67. He will turn 68.
Where's my fucking late night show? God damn it!
I like how he says Jay Leno stepped down, like Jay Leno willingly stepped down. He had so many chances within like the last 10 years or so to step down, and the one time that he was supposed to take a backseat to Conan, he was like, "Fuck no."
Well, yeah, because I actually looked into that. What it was basically if they had fired Leno, then they would have owed him $130 million. No matter what, and they'd only have to give Conan like $38 million, so they just went with Leno because it saved the money.
Then why even give the job to Conan? Like they gave the job to Conan for what, like 2 months?
Yeah, well, something like that. Yeah, because Leno's show was dragging so bad, and they're like, Leno's pretty much like, I want my old show back because you just wanted to go out on the Tonight Show, I guess, instead of just having his bullshit I think it was before.
Yeah, they gave him a slot before Conan,
and it was
for
horrible.
a little while. Yeah,
it was really, really.
And actually, a lot of people say that his show being the lead-in is actually what killed the ratings of the Tonight Show. I
wouldn't be surprised
because they said that barely anyone was watching his show, so there was no lead-in audience.
Yeah, and for those of you that are young enough to not remember, David Letterman was on NBC for years. He's on CBS now. He was pretty much anointed to be the one that took over for Johnny Carson when Johnny Carson was the host of the Tonight Show, and he had been the show after Johnny Carson for years. And then when they had announced that they had decided to give Jay Leno the job instead, that's when David Letterman had moved over to CBS, and there was this big rivalry between Letterman and Leno for a long time.
And they actually said that Carson would write jokes for Letterman's show for quite a while as well. Like after he retired, like he basically would write for Letterman.
About 10 days. He is the older
But
generation.
that really didn't come out until after Carson
died. People, as you're describing, grew up with. But I've got to imagine there are times where he doesn't want to be getting out of bed to do it anymore.
Right. You know, Johnny Carson was a recluse away from his set. He was happiest that 1 hour. Dave is much the same. I can imagine him sort of heading up to Connecticut or going down to the islands and just disappearing. But what do you think about a successor? You got Craig Ferguson later. He doesn't seem, I don't know, maybe is he the obvious choice?
Well, to your point about his privacy,
I didn't even know Craig Ferguson still had a show, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't get much coverage.
In this announcement today, I'm not sure if CBS was even expecting it today. He keeps his plans
Craig Ferguson's show is not as successful because he's actually funny.
Yeah.
To the vest. He renewed his contract last fall through 2015. There was no indication at the time it would be his last contract, but now we know it will be. He'll be leaving sometime in 2015. We don't know when.
Can I just say that I don't care? I just don't give a fuck. I'm sitting here trying to think of something to say, and I'm just like,
I think we should move on from David Letterman. He sucks.
I don't give a fuck.
Fuck you, David Letterman. Fuck you.
His retiring doesn't change things for me at all because I never watched him anyway.
Go fuck yourself. That
Cunt is a douchebag, and I fucking hate him.
All right, so we got one more. So I think this is a good time for everyone to send in your questions because we're going to do one more story really quick here, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and do the question and answer segment of the show.
Oh, yeah.
So this is about a guy who wrote a letter to his boss about being tardy for work.
You're tardy, sir.
Yes, and he got fired because of it. Surprise,
Awesome.
Surprise.
A gas station worker in Michigan says that he was tired of his boss showing up late to relieve him, so Joe Bloom locked up, left a note, and went home. The note went viral after somebody posted a pic of it on Reddit. And part of it says, "Hey boss, learn to be on time. 1 hour with no phone calls, unacceptable." Bloom was fired.
I had it. I had enough of that unprofessional atmosphere and having to deal with that tardiness and have it come down on me. I know that I've struck a chord with a lot of disgruntled, low-paid employees who...
Which, by the way, in Michigan, there's a lot of those.
I must say I commend him from an awesome way to quit. He's like, you're an asshole, I'm publicly shaming you, and I'm like out of here.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
And then, of course, he got fired. That's no shock at all.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of dudes on the show today with cool beards that I want to pull on.
Get
all right,
on the short end of the stick.
If ever, whenever I see a dude with a big beard or with ear gauges that are empty, I always want to pull on those as well. Well, yours have filling, Ben. So
Not right now. They don't because I'm wearing headphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Please don't fucking pull my ears.
I wouldn't do it. I just have the strong urge to do it.
Okay.
To just like grab them.
Ben's like, oh shit! Like looking at TJ now, like, don't fucking do it, dude. You better not do it.
Yeah, because if I leave them in while I'm wearing headphones, they press up against my neck and it's uncomfortable. So
you should have thought about that before you put giant shit in your ears.
Well, at first it started out as small and then got bigger over time. Sound familiar, TJ?
Unlike my cock.
TJ's like, can I do it to my penis, please? Will that work?
Yeah, so we're going to take another break here. Send in your questions, Drunken Peasants, on Skype.
Not what was it, Prunken Pheasants or something?
Pumpkin Dresens. Those motherfuckers are fake.
Yeah, don't add pumpkin dresens or whatever the fuck.
Or Drunken Pheasants.
Yeah, anything other than Drunken Peasants, just ignore those fuckers. And send us your questions. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Welcome to Burger World. May I take your order?
No.
listening to music. My Wi-Fi, let's start to fuck this up.
My farts are delicious.
Your farts are not delicious.
All right, we're back. We were just discussing discussing whether or not TJ's farts are delicious.
They are.
They are not.
They are. I'm the master.
Bader.
Woo!
Sluts love drunken peasants, TJ.
They love DP.
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 But in parentheses, it's drunken peasants.
Yes.
I thought it meant dead pigeons.
Oh, TJ, you actually even smell bad, man. Damn.
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm far enough away. I hope it doesn't get here.
TJ.
Fun fact about Ben is that his farts do not stink.
It's true.
Is that really true?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And he can't burp.
I cannot burp.
I could have enough sulfur content there.
Exactly. I'm actually allergic to sulfur.
Ben is stuffed with
maybe
roses.
That's why. Yeah, Ben's like just like a like just held together with like a bunch of like stitching in roses.
That's me, sugar and spice and everything nice. All right.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to the Q&A segment.
Move on.
Moving on.
Roll out.
Moving on up to the east side.
Yeah, so here we go. We're going to call people.
Call them.
Calls them now.
Why do not call them? Make this happen for us, Ben. Make this fucking happen, you piece of shit. What's whoa.
Whoa, that was bad.
That was not a good sound.
No, not at all.
My ears exploded.
You are now dead, DJ. Sorry.
Deaf is the word you're looking for.
Now you're dead.
This fucker's not answering.
You're in the Twilight Zone, TJ.
Okay, well, this is the person who complained about trying so many times.
I've tried so many times to be on the show.
Sorry, we don't have 1 second.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. You don't have to apologize. It's all right. Okay.
Take your fucking apology.
We'll never forgive you, but it's all right.
You take your fucking apology and
All right.
shove it where the sun don't shine.
Do
faggot.
not call us back, okay? If you miss your opportunity, you missed it.
Forever.
We'll do it next time.
Forever.
We'll do it live.
It's like if you're trying to show up at the hospital and your wife is dying and you fucking arrive too late.
That's fucking terrible.
Just like that, there's no second chance.
Yeah.
No second chance, buddy.
What is this bullshit? All right. Okay, here we go. So now we're calling this person.
Fingerling.
Fingerling.
TJ.
You're a middle-aged man.
You're a middle-aged man, TJ.
Jesus was crucified on top of a pyramid with UNOs that were masturbating.
UNOs?
UFOs, excuse
UNOs?
me. UNOs.
It's not UNOs.
Okay, I misfucking spoke. Fucking blow it out your ass.
He just blew enough out his ass earlier.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Wow, this is pathetic.
Fail streak.
Yes.
What the fuck?
All right.
Do they not realize
we
to
might
be
have
ready
to
to be
call-
on the
dude.
show if they fucking submit a question?
We might have to call Galen.
Oh, God. We did get a lot of requests to have Galen on,
Galen.
so we might have to have him on if he's listening. I mean,
Let's go, Galen.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Galen doesn't listen to every one of the
Yeah.
podcasts. I'm sure he just listens to some of them.
No. Galen's dead.
Galen's dead.
So we're calling this person now. We'll see if they answer.
No one's answering tonight. This is
Yeah,
weird.
yeah,
They all
that's
hate
weird.
us.
Usually we have no problems with getting people to answer.
All right. Going once, going twice. You're gone.
You're gone.
All right.
Fucking garbage and you're gone.
You're fucking gone, buddy.
You garbage guy. Let's call our friend the
Fake Rob Ford.
No, it's the real Rob Ford. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
right. I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's a weird thing about Canada. All their mayors, like, when they do, like, official things, like, the ceremonies, they wear these, like, really weird, like, I don't know what they call it, like, a vest almost, and, like, with medals and shit. It's weird.
I think it's a, like, Commonwealth.
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah, I think so. Fucking weird-ass Canadians.
If this guy... Okay.
Hey, Rob.
That's awesome.
Hello, G-Man.
Hey, it's not coming in clearly.
Thank you, Rob Ford.
Thanks, Rob. That was cool.
Rob Ford was listening to G-Man, so he has good
Rob
taste.
Ford.
Sorry, Rob, for interrupting.
Fob roared.
Yeah.
I like him.
I don't know. Let's see if Galen's online. If this doesn't work, I think it's about time we have to try.
We'll
weird.
just...
Is something wrong with the Skype? Or
No, not at all.
Wow.
Rob Ford just answered.
Yeah, it's true. Rob Ford.
Hello, 1 second, sorry, pausing in the stream. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm sick of Scotty. Will you be my new little brother?
I've usually been the big brother, but sure.
Yeah.
The reversal
Do it.
of fortune.
Do it.
Oh, sounds good to me.
I like it.
Do I
So
have to keep my pants on or take them off?
Oh, something you don't know about being Cheetah's little brother is you have to go get a job and you have to give Cheetah all of your money. So
Yes.
I'm kind of free from that, so thank you.
Man, seriously,
Yeah.
sucks ass.
Cheetah calls it
not in the fun way either. Not in the fun way.
Yeah, Cheetah calls it Cheetah basically runs a protection racket with our family. Like everyone has to give him money. So I mean, thank you for taking on my position. I now will bow out gracefully.
All right, sounds good to me.
Ask your question.
So,
yeah, no one has time for your fucking bullshit, dude. Come on, quit fucking wasting time and ask your question before we kick your fucking ass. I'll kick your fucking ass, bitch.
Fuck you, Belmont.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Belmont.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Hey, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Look, this discourse is getting out of control, buddy. Just you need to ask your question.
So what I'm saying is, what I've been saying to my friends recently is, the reason the word nigger is offensive is because people still, when they hear it, they think of the historical usage of it as referring to black people. So obviously, if we take term, if we apply it to like inanimate objects, like my bed nigger, my computer nigger, and we use it like that, don't call black people nigger, black people know what it is. We call like my mouse nigger here. It will stop being offensive over time because people associate it with these objects instead of with black people. And
right.
So do you actually call your mouse nigger though? Like you're using your mouse like you fucking stupid nigger. Do you actually do that?
Are you using it the way like the Smurfs use Smurf, where you just substitute random nouns and verbs and stuff?
I use it as like when you put at the end of a word like the opposite of whatchamacallit. You know, like my mouse nigga, my computer nigga, I put it in words like that. I've had my friends do it and have been doing it. Do you think that will work? Like if people actually start referring to things as, hyphen nigga? Will it slowly over time start to decrease the offensiveness of the word? Do you think that'll work, or am I just a fucktard? Because I've been told that I'm a fucktard a lot, but I'm always told I'm a fucktard. What is a fucktard?
I don't know if it would work, but I don't think I think it's kind of a moot point since you'd never be able to implement it widely anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's never going to become like the new trend. Hey guys, you hear what we're doing now? We're like any random household object, we're just adding like extra syllables onto it, and they're syllables that offend a lot of people. So it's going to be good.
When you put it like that, I sound really fucking stupid. Then again, I always sound really fucking stupid.
Well, you're definitely self-loathing. We've established that.
It's okay.
Oh, I am extremely self-loathing.
It's okay, buddy.
A mass of hatred.
It's okay. You need a hug.
You need a hug, but we're not willing to give you.
If you drive to Columbus, I'll hug you. Just give you. I'll embrace you.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Nah, you gotta come for the hug, buddy. Gotta come for the hug.
Unfortunately, if he gives you the hug, it's gonna be to grab your wallet. So sorry about that.
Or your butt. Either one. You never know. Probably both.
I mean, I don't mean to be an asshole, but insulting Ohio over West Virginia, that's a strange one, because if there's any states that are actually worse than Ohio, West Virginia would definitely.
West Virginia.
Yeah, it would be West Virginia. Yeah.
Here's the school. My grandfather lives in Ohio.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'm only here because my grandfather lives real close by across the river. But yeah, thank you for calling me. I've been.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we've been having this problem with Skype lately, where when people call in for whatever reason they're not loud enough, and I have the Skype volume turned up all the way right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to run them through the soundboard, but the problem is that there's a little bit of latency there, so people are getting an echo.
Uh-huh.
So if you're calling in, turn up your microphone. We need it louder. We need you to be louder for us. So
be loud.
If your microphone volume isn't up that high, we need you to turn it up.
Be loud and proud.
So go into your Skype settings and turn up your outgoing audio. We need it louder.
Yeah, you bastards. Fucking listen to what we say.
You know, when you read the comments, the shit they talk about the callers, it makes us seem nice in comparison. Like, this guy's a fucking moron. Blow his brains out.
Blow his brains out.
It's kind of weird how
I'm just using hyperbole. No one actually said that. I'm just saying.
Don't insult my little brother. Come on. He's a good boy.
What is he, like your child? Not even sound
Yes.
little boy. It sounds like your child.
He's my little.
He's
baby.
a good little boy.
He's a good little boy. He needs.
He may have problems.
He
but
needs the occasional spanking, but overall he's good.
His spanking covered in oil and beaten and roasted alive. It's like, whoa.
Where the fuck is my fake cigarette?
Looks like you're trying to shove your hand down your pants to find it.
I am. I have so much stuff in my pockets.
Someone wrote praise Galen. That call is over.
Gaze Pralin.
Gaze Pralin.
Yeah, so we're going to call some more people. Turn up your volume, please.
Don't listen to him. He's crazy.
Okay.
That's the recipe for failure.
We might just have to, for the next show, when we're going to have the debate, we might as well just bring in the other computer.
Hello?
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 Hello.
Hi, can you do us a favor? We can hear you just fine, but if you can, boost your volume a little bit, because it's not coming...
It's up as high as it will go.
Okay.
Okay, copy that.
All right, what's your question?
I wanted to ask how you feel about people saying that you can't criticize a work of art unless you can produce something of equal or greater quality.
It's a good question. I just don't really know how to answer it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, on one hand, it kind of makes sense for someone to be like, oh, well, if you're going to criticize what I've done, then can you do any better? But at the same time, I mean, like, the fact that I couldn't make a special effects movie like Transformers 3, say, that doesn't really, like, make me feel like, well, that means that Transformers 3 is really this, like, magnificent work of art. You know, because, I mean, like, you know, I mean, art is subjective to an extent, and, I mean, when I watch that movie, I think it's fucking shit. I think it's superficial and banal and just boring, and the characters are flat, and I even think the action sequences are shitty for the most part. Like, I think that just watching a bunch of fake CGI robots punch each other in the face for, you know, an hour and a half with explosions liberally peppered in here and there, like, that doesn't do much for me, you know?
Why wouldn't they want...
That sounds awesome.
Nah.
Why would they want the word criticized to begin with, though? I mean, isn't it art? Wouldn't they almost like want that to be a discussion? Like, okay, why don't you like what I've done? You know, maybe they could open a dialogue and understand, you know, the other person's point of view and perspective. And I don't necessarily think they need to go to, well, you're not a famous painter, so you can't criticize me. It's like, okay, so you have to get a famous painter to criticize them, and what would they say then? Like, well, your criticism is valid because you also are in the same field to do the same thing I do and also famous. I mean, that's just kind of a ultra high standard to hold someone to that it's almost impossible in some regards and in certain fields.
It's weird.
Do what?
Well, they just get really offended if anyone who isn't a perfect artist criticizes.
Well, I mean, like, isn't it just a way to negate criticism in general? Like I could easily say, well, you're not allowed to criticize anything I've ever said on YouTube until you have a channel of equal, size and popularity to mine, and only then will your opinion on anything I say be valid. I mean, that's just not how it works. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and if someone can explain their opinion intelligently, then I think they should be taken seriously regardless of whether or not they show the same level of proficiency in that particular endeavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
All right. Thanks for being on.
Victory is mine.
So was everyone able to, we're going to take a quick survey before we take the next call. Was everyone able to hear her?
Female voice on the internet equals instantly Emma Watson.
I think they were saying that because she had a British accent.
Yeah.
I called her Hermione in a previous show.
Yes.
Hermione!
Because she does sound very Hermione-ish. Hermione-ish?
They probably just come from the same part of the UK.
No, you're wrong. It's the most preposterous thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
You're a liar. And you're garbage.
You garbage guy.
I don't know all the different accents.
You
from
fucking
there,
garbage.
areas. The one most people know is like the Liverpool one because of the Beatles.
You're going to get shot.
So I'm just going through some questions right now. Please give us some feedback if you could hear her, our last caller, well enough to understand what she was saying, because, we don't want to just keep going, taking calls if you can't hear her. So
no point in that.
Yeah. So just let us know. And I'm just checking a few.
A lot of
other
people are
things.
saying yes. Yes with echo. Yes.
With echo.
With echo.
I don't know why there's echo. There shouldn't be any echo at all.
Echo.
But we'll work on that. Here's a question here's a caller with a question that I found kind of intriguing here. So we'll call this person.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Hello.
Ah.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going good. What's your question?
My question is, Mr. TJ.
Uh-huh.
Why are you so unfair?
Unfair.
Unfair to Mrs. Nita Sarkeesian.
Unfair. How so?
Indeed.
How?
Well, you claim to say that. Did you claim to say that she scammed a bunch of people on her Kickstarter?
Uh-huh.
And why is that?
Well, she raised over $100,000 and has put out only 4 videos in like a year and some change since, of like a supposedly 8-part series, and really only some of those videos were multiple videos of the same part. The fact is that she didn't even play the games. The footage that she was using in those clip shows was from other people's Let's Play channels. She's been on record before this saying that she hates video games, she doesn't play them, but I mean the whole auspices of the...
She was also involved in some handwriting scams and other dubious schemes beforehand. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're saying she's like necessarily scammed them, like she's not going to make the videos, but at the rate she's making them, I think it would take, about 10 years to complete it?
Yeah, I mean, she's only actually technically on the second part of her, I think, 8 or 9 part series after a year and some change, and it's not like there's been a bunch of videos. This content's been very sparse. The quality of the content doesn't appear markedly improved from her previous content. So I'm just wondering, where did that money go exactly?
Her original goal was $6,000.
Right.
The reason why people gave her so much money is because she was getting so much backlash by the gamer community.
Right. I agree with you there.
You ever feel like you deal with that same backlash? Because I see so many of your fans like, where that money went for? Not productive, man.
Well, we actually did a breakdown of that on the last show, and people seemed to, yeah. And I haven't heard her do the same. I haven't heard her do a breakdown of why this endeavor cost the amount of money that it did. I mean, her goal might have only been $6,000, but it's not like she returned the rest of the money.
Yeah, she didn't refuse the rest of the money. She graciously accepted it.
And I mean, this is more. I mean, but it's more.
Well, I agree with you. Who wouldn't? But I mean, she still took the money. That's no denying that.
I mean, I'm just saying that she took the money. She hasn't really produced the shows at anywhere near the rate that you would expect with that sort of money behind it.
Yeah, let's turn the question around the caller. Why do you think she's not produced the full series with the money she's received?
And I agree with
That,
her.
Well, I mean, you're saying you don't know, but you don't. So you don't think there should be any accountability to her. You're just going to hold us accountable for what she's done. That doesn't really make much sense. Maybe you should go hold her accountable.
But I don't really have a huge stake. I only gave $1. So maybe if I gave like $1,000, I'd be like,
Well, but shouldn't you talk to other people and say, hey, like, where is this content? You know, like, we want to see this content. You know, maybe you should discuss that with other people who've donated who want to see the content. Because I'm not opposed to her making the content, but she took a lot of money. She took a lot of money, so she should produce the content in at least a somewhat timely manner, or at least update people like, hey, this is so expansive. We're doing this. We're talking to these people. We're interviewing people. Like, none of that's happening. It's just her sitting in front of a camera.
I agree. But for whatever reason, especially with gamers, if you talk about feminism, even if you're not even a feminist yourself, a huge backlash happens. Like, fuck no.
Well, don't you think that Anita Sarkeesian is probably a big part of that at this point? I mean, I think that she's basically set herself up as an antagonist against the gaming community and gaming culture with a very superficial and unnuanced interpretation of like the Mrs. Pac-Man thing. Like, oh, how dare! I mean, it's a fucking like, oh, all Ms. Pac-Man is just Pac-Man wearing a bow. I mean, it's a circle that eats dots. I mean, what the fuck do you expect? I mean,
yeah, for all I care, they can make it genderless. Who cares?
Like it could be Pac person. Who gives a fucking shit? I mean, I don't see. Have you ever seen Pac-Man's dick? I mean, I haven't.
That would be hilarious to see his dick flopping around.
If you're a gaming programmer out there, program a version of Pac-Man where he's got a big yellow dick dragging behind him, because there seems to be a demand for that.
I recently saw your live question and answer video, and you answered a question about LGBT diversity, and you brought up the Twilight Zone. I'm recently watching the Twilight Zone.
Me too.
Great. Oh my god.
Well, I've watched it a lot in the past, but now I've been watching it on Netflix lately. Because I don't know if it's just recently been put on there, but it's weird too because they have seasons 1, 2, 3, and 5. They don't have season 4 for some reason.
Really? I saw season 4.
It's not on my Netflix. I don't know. Very strange.
What is the deal with a bunch of people saying, I hate it when you shove equality down my throat? You know?
Equality down my throat?
Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's like when people bring up issues like, yeah, we need more blacks, gays, people in our films and video games. Like, I hate it when you shove this down my throat. I don't get it.
I don't know. I've never really heard that.
Yeah, I've not heard that either.
I haven't really heard people say like "fuck all this equality shit." I mean, maybe I just don't hang out around the same kind of scumfucks that you do or something. I don't know.
That's usually the comment section. I'm like,
right.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that explains
look,
that.
I mean, I wouldn't pay comment sections on the internet too much mind. I mean, like 80% of that shit is probably just people trolling for fucking
I'm gonna say something to piss people off. Yeah.
It's just like, let's take the 4chan mentality everywhere we can and just say things for shock value's sake.
Unfortunately, that is too true.
Anyway, we're going to move on, but thank you for calling.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think I've identified the echo problem, but I can't really fix it until the next stream.
Okay,
that would require...
So sorry, guys. You're just going to have to...
Echo.
Just pretend that all of our callers are calling from a deep cavern somewhere.
Yeah. That's all we can really do at this point, but we'll have it fixed by the next show. We just have to do more testing.
Oh, yeah.
I think,
okay, there's some idiot in the chat saying, Chuju did a 17,000 followers and didn't make a website or some shit. He's already explained everything behind
that. Go watch. I don't remember exactly.
Epic Assassin Pony, go watch the last...
Was it the last show or the show before it?
It was one of the last shows.
It was one of the last two shows. We were talking about Undertaker Freak, and we responded to a lot of those allegations in that video, and I welcome people to go check that out if they want to, because we kind of break it down where the money went and what happened with the website, and the fact the website was in fact up for several months before it was taken down. So, and we explain everything that happened in that saga in pretty explicit detail. So you can check it out. You can check out the companies involved. We've made every attempt to be transparent. Anita Sarkeesian has made no attempt to be transparent. So there's no...
She blocks all the comments in her videos.
In fact, she was in some flap recently about using someone else's artwork. I mean, it was part of a collage, and it was probably fair use, but the person just asked, can you credit me? And she was just like, pretty much ignored the person until... it got a bunch of traction on Reddit, and then she's like, "Oh well, this is fair use," and she just kind of hid behind all this, legalese, and she didn't just say, "Okay, I'm sorry, I'll give you credit for that being your piece of art." That's
Yes.
which is all the other person wanted was acknowledgement. They didn't. I don't think they wanted to file a lawsuit over it. And that's just kind of her mentality you see over and over again.
Yeah, so we're almost at the 3-hour mark here. I think we're going to take one more call. We're going to call this person. We're giving him another chance, even though he wasn't ready the last time.
Fuck them.
Yeah, and if your TJ fucks things, we're going to hang up on you immediately.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me well?
Yes.
So, thanks for calling me back. I have a couple quick questions.
They better be quick. You have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the sexual consent.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
So I was on Facebook, and this one girl was talking about how someone manufactured sexual consent because this guy was buying her drinks.
Manufactured sexual
That
consent?
makes no sense, but okay.
What does that
But
mean?
continue.
Basically, because the guy is giving her alcohol, he's trying to get her drunk enough to have sex.
But she's accepting alcohol, is she not?
That's what I tried to put through her head, yes. But
This is a very strange double standard that exists where if you're a drunk woman, you're not able to consent to sex, but if you're a drunk man, you are able to consent to sex. Exactly. I don't really understand why that standard should exist unless you have some view that women are inherently weaker, which I don't have, which, that's why I always label modern day feminism as the most misogynistic viewpoint possible, because it's always the one that's trying to foster this victim mentality and perpetuate the idea of inherent female weakness and that we need all these special protections and double standards. Otherwise, there's some sort of, I don't know what it would be, but you see where I'm going with it.
Yeah, and it's not just the feminists, although they portray that a lot. There's another section of that comment in that Facebook status, which was talking about this one teacher, female teacher who was married, who had sex with a 15 or 16-year-old or a 16-year-old male student.
Yes.
And of course, all the guys were saying how that's so hot and that's so awesome and how they
Right.
would have been taking to all their friends. And then I said, okay, well, if it was a 16-year-old girl and, for 30-some-year-old man teacher, what would it be like then? And they were like, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, he's a pedophile. Yeah, he's disgusting.
Right. I mean, there's a clear double standard, and but I mean there's all kinds of double standards in our society. Like there was this guy recently, the heir to the DuPont fortune. I don't know if you read about this, but he raped his 3-year-old daughter, and the judge gave him probation because they said he wouldn't do well in a prison setting. It's like, well, that's kind of the point. You're not supposed to do well in a fucking prison setting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's prison, for fuck's sake. And that was because, of course, he was rich.
No.
So I mean, we have there's a lot of double standards in America, and I think if someone just has a blithe unawareness of it, like the question is, how do you actually draw attention to it? Like how do you get people to recognize that a female teacher who has sex with a male student is every bit as wrong as a male teacher that has sex with a female student? I mean, you can't. I mean, that's just another fucking example that just has like, oh well, that's just because women. If it's a girl, then she's a naive victim, but if it's a boy, then obviously he wants it too. Yeah, and that's just faulty fucking logic. I mean, that's not really how it goes.
Yeah, I remember in high school, like female fellow students of mine, like they were telling me how hot the gym teacher was, right? And so clearly, there's attractive, male teachers as well. And with that original question, though, it's a little off topic, but she was talking about how, when you're drunk, you aren't able to consent to sex. What do you find would be the limit then? How drunk could you be before you can't consent to sex anymore?
I personally have consented to sex many times while drunk. So.
But you can, apparently.
Yeah.
But if you were a woman, you would be unable to consent if you were drunk. then it's
Even
just
if you had like one glass of
yeah,
wine.
it's automatically rape if you're a woman and you consent to sex while drunk.
What if I jerk off while I'm drunk?
Consent
Am I
should
raping
be
myself?
Okay, consent is not if some chick is passed out in a room and you rape her. That's different. But I mean, if you go out,
If I would say even if someone is like clearly to the point where their mental faculties are severely compromised and they're just like, whoa,
if they're not able to
man,
make safe decisions for themselves, that's probably what. But someone who's a little tipsy can certainly make that decision if they want to do that or not.
Right. And what about all the girls that want to get drunk and have sex? I mean,
They're all being raped.
There's definitely women and girls who get drunk with the express purpose of like, I'm gonna get fucked up and then I'm gonna get fucked. So I don't know. I mean, it's just, I mean, the real problem here is there's like a discomfort with any sort of nuance, and we're always just supposed to interpret things based on like a rigid scale of like
it's black or white,
very defined factors, and like we're not allowed to look at individual situations and say like, well, let's look at the mitigating factors here. Let's look at the mentalities of the people involved. Let's look at, how is this person behaving? How is that person behaving? And we always just boil it down to some superficial equation of like, well, this person was male and this person was female and this much alcohol was consumed and therefore this is what.
Therefore he did it and he was a rapist.
This is
evil.
This is the pronouncement we have about the situation. And it just doesn't work. I mean, it's basically a zero tolerance policy, and zero tolerance policies are just always going to fail because they never want to factor in any sort of nuance or any sort of variables that are not immediately apparent.
So thanks for the call, and it's nice to have a Canadian caller whose mom didn't walk in and make them hang up.
And hit him with a broom.
Hang up! TJ Fox thinks you're grounded for a year!
Yeah. Thanks for being on. All right.
And he's never been on since then. I think maybe his mom killed him and buried him in the
backyard.
Yeah, like in the mountains or something.
You know what sucks in Canada? It's so cold, so she probably had to wait to bury him too. So it's probably like just in the yard or something.
Yeah, she probably just buried him under some snow.
Yeah.
By now, there's like squirrels and shit plucking out his eyes.
Well, squirrels have to eat too, so can't fault them for that.
So we will be back on Saturday. I don't even want to call it a debate. I guess it is. But
it's technically a debate. So.
Yeah, we're going to be back Saturday with the utter slaughter of Brett Keane and the BK posse.
And I think you said Paul's Ego is joining us.
Paul's Ego will likely
be
here.
And
Dusty is possible if you guys can convince his date that he has AIDS or something.
Tell Dusty's date Dusty has AIDS and he's going to explode.
Yeah. And thanks again for the 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing, the amount of time.
10,000 subs, motherfucker.
And it's all due to your hatred of me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. So we'll be back. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Take it easy, everyone.